program, and we're so excited that you're able to join us on today. Again, we have a lot in store for you today. We have a lot of program and representation. And again, we just have a full day for you to learn more about the 10K program and also how you can fit inside that 10K program. And we're going to give you a brief overview for today as well. So before we kind of get formally started, again, I want you to feel welcome. I want you to know that there's a lot of information and that how you play a part in what this 10K day entails, right? And again, so what we're going to do, we're going to share a screen just to show you some things that we have going on today. Our Actually, this event will be streamed live today. And for our different academic sessions, we'll make sure that we will be recording those events so they can be posted to our live, our Facebook and our different social media platforms on Instagram so that you can be aware again and you can find these videos and get the information that you need. Now, of course, the most important thing is to make sure to stay in tune with what's going on. One of my colleagues is going to go ahead and share the screen for me that has that guidebook and how to download it. We want you to be able to download the guidebook today because that's actually what will happen. That's actually what will allow you to schedule your day for today is that guidebook. Okay, so we definitely want you to download the guidebook and make sure that you are ready and you know exactly what's going on today. You can know what time each session, the breakdown of what each session, exactly what's going on. Thank you, Mr. McDuffie, for doing that for me. That's the exact link right there to the guidebook. For those that may be using their phone, you definitely can't take a picture of the QR code, but you definitely can take a screenshot of the QR code. And again, we want you to download that guidebook. And these are just some steps of what you will see as you're downloading the guidebook. As you can see on your far left, you'll make sure that you actually go to the App Store, or for those using Androids, which I believe is the best, okay, you will be using your Play Store. Once you download the guidebook, you have to make sure you search Office of Admission Events for Fayetteville State University. That will pop up as one of the guides to download. So once you download that, as you can see on your far left, there is all the icons and different things that you can search and navigate through the guidebook. Definitely, like I said, we're streaming live on our YouTube and our Facebook today. So make sure you click on Facebook, click on Instagram, and most importantly, want you to become a Bronco, especially with the 10K program. Now, there may be some students on here. Once we get to that point, you're trying to figure out if my school, my community college is a partner college. We'll dive into that, but we still want you to become a Bronco here at Fayetteville State University. So in your guidebook, you definitely can apply, and we want you to apply to become a Bronco, because I don't know about you, but I believe that FSU is the only choice. That's what I've been saying. That's what I believe. As a graduate of Fayetteville State University in 2008, I graduated with my bachelor's degree. And also the most important thing, we need you all to check in, okay? We need you to check in on today, because those who check in, you have a chance to enter to win a prize, and that prize is a 10K shirt that we're giving away for those who check in. So if you download that guidebook, we want you to go ahead and check in through your guidebook and make sure again that you can enter your chance to win a t-shirt and a prize from the Office of Admissions. Okay, so the next screen we'll talk about pretty much where we're streaming to and where we're going to live today. We'll be going live on our YouTube. We'll also be going live on our Facebook, again, where you can catch this event today, where we learn more about Fayetteville State University's 10K program, okay? Again, our YouTube and our Facebook, that's where you'll be able to stream. That's where we're streaming today. Again, giving you more information about the 10K program. I'm excited because, of course, I'm with the transfer team, and this is a really good program to make sure that our students are engaged and make sure that they have access to a quality degree, and making sure that you're not breaking the bank or hurting your pockets just to get a quality degree. And the great thing about today is you get to meet with all those online departments today. You have representation to get more information about the department, about the program specifically online. And again, you get to put a face with a name. You may have navigated through our website already, and you realize, I want to be a part of this program. Now you get to put those faces with those names that you've seen on our website. There's so many different tools, so many different resources that you have access to as a Bronco, but definitely for the 10K program, That's our Facebook link right there. And again, this is our Facebook page that we're streaming live to today. All right. So again, we're excited that everyone is here. Please don't forget, in each of your sessions, make sure you put your questions in the chat. Put it in the Q&A section, whatever is available for you. We want to answer those questions, not just from a mission standpoint, but we want to make sure we answer those questions from all of our departments to make sure that no question goes unanswered. And we'll also throughout the day, we'll put up contact information so you know how to get directly in contact with Fayetteville State University, okay? Again, this is our virtual 10K day. We're excited. I'm excited, y'all. Want to shout out definitely all those who are helping today, our admissions office, and of course, all of our departments of representation, our faculty and staff, and those who are in the background that you may not see on camera today. I want to definitely thank you. And I want to thank Ms. Wilson, who is actually our vice chancellor. She's our point of contact for those students who may be on here. And once you learn what colleges are partnered, you may need to get in contact with Ms. Dahlia Wilson. She'll be our point of contact as far as getting your school to become a partner and to sign an agreement to become a partner of that program, okay? But I have to save the best for last. I have to save my director, Ms. Yulisa E. Bowles. She's our executive director of admissions, for allowing us to have this program and supporting us. And she'll be on later on, but I want to definitely shout her out. If you're there and you're listening, if you know me, please clap your hands. Okay, that's my boss. So we definitely want to give her a shout out. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give a brief overview of what the 10K program entails. Like I said, there's so many things going on today, and we want you to be a part of each of those concurrent sessions that's going on. Now, to give you a rundown, we have 11 o'clock concurrent session with some of our programs. We have an 11:45 concurrent session with some of our programs, and we also have a 12:30, okay, with some of our academic programs that's offered online. One of the most important parts as well, it will be at 1:15, where our financial aid and student accounts, they pretty much break it down for you, do the math, understanding how to complete your FAFSA and how everything happens with your account once we verify that you are eligible for the 10K program, okay? I'm gonna only say this one time. The long name is $10,000 degree pathway program. So you'll often hear me say 10K program for short, but again, that is our program that we want to offer to you as partner college, community colleges in North Carolina, okay? Awesome. So again, we're going to start with a brief overview of the 10K program and how you play a part in making sure that you can be eligible for our program. So what I'm going to do sometimes, and I want you to be mindful that when you're looking at the presenters, they will be moving their head left or right. They want to make sure that the information is accurate on the screen and that they're presenting properly. So, you know, in this Zoom world, we want to make sure, again, that we can use our visual aids to make sure that you can see and not just hear what we're saying, but you can see it with your eyes. So please bear with us as we're looking left to right to make sure that we share the screen. So I'm going to share my screen, okay, to make sure we can go ahead and start the brief overview of the 10K program that Fayetteville State offers to North Carolina community colleges. All right, so I haven't gotten any feedback yet. I think everybody can hear me. Make sure I'm not talking too fast, and you should be able to see my screen now. So if someone can just verify that they can see my screen, one of my colleagues give me a thumbs up in the chat to make sure that we can see the screen properly. Okay, yes, thank you. They can see it. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this presentation now. The first screen you see, this is just some contact information here at Fayetteville State University, Office of Admissions, how you can get in contact with us. Okay, we want you to get in contact with us. That's our email address, that's our phone number. And also, because of this climate that we're in with the pandemic, we're doing booking appointments or virtual appointments where even though we're not in the same space, we're not in the same office, you still can meet with us virtually on bookings, where we can do a virtual interaction to answer those personal questions. You may have some questions for admissions today that you don't want to put in the open, if you will, and you want to have that one-on-one time with an admissions counselor. Our transfer staff, which would include me, Dr. Darnett Hall, you will see her later on today. Shout out to Dr. Darnett Hall. And we have Ms. Brooke Van, shout out to you as well, of our transfer team that will assist you with those questions when you do those virtual appointments, okay? So we're always accessible, whether email, phone call, or definitely virtually through our bookings app. So again, please get in contact with us. And again, we're excited that you're here. So what is this 10K program, Mr. Wise? Look, I'm excited about it, okay? Because you get to get a quality education, and on top of that, you get to save a lot of money. So why do we call it 10K? Obviously, we want to make sure that you save money, and that's going to cost under $10,000, right? I don't know about you, but I love saving money, right? My wife and I, we love saving money. And I think all of us love saving money. So with the 10K program, we want you to be a part of a prestigious university, which is Fayetteville State. We want you to receive quality education from ranked programs, which Fayetteville State offers. And how do you do that? You become a part of our 10K program. Now, The thing about it is it has to be an online degree completion program, okay? With this 10K, it's distance learning, okay? And for a lot of us, especially in the transfer world, that's very convenient because some of us work, we have children, and we need a flexible schedule. So we offer that with our online degree completion programs with a flexible schedule, okay? Now, you have to be a part of a North Carolina community college, and you must receive your associate's degree from one of those partner schools. Now, don't worry, I'm going to make sure I put that on the screen for you so you can see those partner schools and those programs. But again, you must be a graduate from a North Carolina community college, and it must be an associate's degree. So it could be an associate in arts, it could be associate of science, it could be associate applied science. And what will happen is once you get into your sessions individually with your academic programs that are offered online, they will break down of what those, depending on the associate of art, associate of science, associate applied science, what that looks like to make sure that you have the core classes that you need and that you can finish your program, okay? Again, you get to get a 4-year degree after getting your associate's degree. You get that for under $10,000. Come on now. You can't beat that, right? And typically what you find is you find that bachelor's degree online can be somewhere between 20,000 to 30,000, depending on which school you call that you attend. And that can be very, very expensive. And what we want to do, we want to create a pathway for you to get a quality degree. I can't say that enough, for a very, very affordable price. Now, this is layman's terms, but I like to use it. You get more bang for your buck. You know, typically you're told that what you pay for is what you get. That's not the case here because we have ranked programs that are ranked in the country, top 10 in the country, online programs that are ranked top 10 or top 5 in the state of North Carolina. So you're getting more bang for your buck here at Fayetteville State. Now, you can't beat that, right? 4-year degree, under $10,000. I know you're asking yourself, Mr. Wise, all right, go ahead and sign me up now. Go ahead and sign me up. And we're going to have information for you so you can sign up for this program, right? Now, the good thing about it, we'll give you within 3 calendar years to finish this program, okay? Which, again, I think is awesome. Once you get your associate's degree from a partner school and you come into the 10K program, we'll give you 3 calendar years. So it makes it very flexible for you. You don't feel like you have to pile yourself on with classes every semester. We give you 3 years. And I think that's important. So now to answer that question that I know that you're ready to add, that you're ready to ask, how can I get started, Mr. Wise? You have to complete an intent to enroll form, okay? Complete an intent to enroll form. With that form, it allows you to be on our radar. You're expressing your interest. Now, be mindful that it does not say that you're coming to Fayetteville State University. It's not an application. It's just simply expressing your interest. So I can make sure I stay in contact with you. And the good thing about that form, you know, some of you may have started just now this fall 2020 term as a community college student, right? So you're saying, hey, Mr. Wise, I'm not graduating until 2022. I'm not graduating until 2023. The awesome thing about that form, it allows you to schedule it out in a sense all the way up until 2024, 2025. So why is that there, Mr. Wise? It helps us to keep you on track. It helps us to keep you on our radar. So when that time comes and that appropriate term comes after you graduate, we can send you information about events that's going on, like today's event, right? We can send you information about Fayetteville State. We can send you how to apply to the university and what things that you will need to fulfill that requirement. So that leads into our next part. You need to meet the admissions requirements. You do have to apply. So 2-step, do the intent form, and then of course apply to Fayetteville State University while meeting those admission requirements, okay? And I think the next part you would love, you have the application fee waived. So you don't have to pay the $50 application fee. Come on, y'all. We give you quality education and you're already saving money on the front end where you don't have to pay the application fee. And also you get your degree for under $10,000, all right? Now, some of the requirements, you must be a North Carolina resident, okay? You must, again, we already talked about it, earning your associate degree from a partner school, okay? You have to submit your FAFSA, okay, application each enrollment year. This helps us to make sure that we can appropriate the right calculation when it comes to your account, okay, which financial aid we'll talk about later on today. Okay, you must enroll in courses that's specified, okay, for that curriculum, and you must earn a grade of A, B, or C, in a sense, C or higher for those required courses. That's how those courses will transfer over to Fayetteville State University if they're 100 level course or higher, and you have at least a C or better. So it makes it a little bit easier for the advisor to give you a transfer of credit evaluation, and then also making sure that those requirements can be fulfilled. Okay. And if you see the QR code there, that's a QR code so you can go directly to the 10K page and see what the requirements are, because there's some more requirements in detail, but these are the key requirements in the sense of being eligible for the 10K program. Now you're asking yourself out there, what schools are partnered with Fayetteville State University? These are the schools that are partnered with Fayetteville State University. Again, you must be a North Carolina resident and be a part of one of these North Carolina community colleges, okay? I'm not going to say them all because you can see them on your screen, but as far west as Blue Ridge Community College, as far east as northeastern part of the state of Edgecombe Community College, okay? So as you can see, we're always adding schools to this partnership. Now, you may be watching today and wondering, Mr. Wise, I do not see my school on there. How can my school become a partner? That very important name I named at the beginning was Miss Thalia Wilson. She will be your point of contact, okay? She will be the person that will get that needs to be in contact by your upper administration at your community college, so we can try to get a memorandum of understanding completed and signed, okay? So when that's completed and signed, all right, that will form the partnership. But again, her name is Miss Thalia Wilson. If you go to our website and look her up, she will be the point of contact. So even though you may not be a partner school right now, you still can stay on today to get the information and see how our online degree completion programs rank in the state and the country, and how they can provide an awesome service for you to receive a quality degree. All right. So again, these are our partner schools, and in that bottom left corner, you'll see our interim chancellor, Dr. Peggy Valentine, signing an agreement right there, for example, with Wayne Community College. So now we've already talked about the online degree completion. Those are degrees that are offered for the 10K program, that are eligible for the 10K program. So now, what are those degrees? We have, under our Bachelor of Arts, we have our English department. You'll hear from all these departments today: our history, intelligence studies, political science, sociology. And then under our Bachelor of Science, we have accounting, we have birth through kindergarten, non-teaching, we have business administration, general business, we have criminal justice, we have fire and emergency services administration, interdisciplinary, I'm sorry, that word always gives me a tongue tie, right? Interdisciplinary studies, nursing, RN to BSN, and then also psychology. These are all the online programs that we offer here at Fayetteville State, and that are eligible for the 10K program. So again, please stay tuned for today. Download that guidebook to make sure you can click on that link to join that session to get more information and see how you can be a part of that online program and the 10K program, okay? Awesome. Now, again, transfer of credits is also a big question that we get here at Fayetteville State, especially in the transfer world. Mr. Wise, how many of my credits would transfer? We know the advisors and the faculty, they can assist you with that. But on the front end, we have a tool, which is called the Transfer Equivalency Self-Service Tool. That is a mouthful, right? Especially for someone like me that speaks kind of fast. But this is a tool currently on our website that our transfer students use to see unofficially what credits were directly transferred from their community college. So this is a tool for you. Please take a screenshot of this. That's the link, and also the QR code. It's a tool, very, very user-friendly. Pretty much what you do when you log in, you put your name of your school, you put the actual course number, then you go ahead and put the number of credits, the grade that you receive, and don't forget, it has to be a C or better for it to transfer. And you can, and the database is always updated. So it's so many schools that we have in that database. And since it's an ongoing process, be mindful that we're always updating that tool. We're always adding schools. We know there are a lot of schools in that system, but if your school is not, please be patient with us as we're always continually updating this tool. Again, it will show you the percentage of your requirements, and it'll give you a degree plan. So once you hit that submit button, right? You hit that submit button, you're getting ready to see exactly what transfers over to the program. It will give you a map of the degree plan and what courses that you need. And in the section on the left, it will show you the course that you've taken at your community college and that it transfer in to that program. So you get 2 in 1. You get the degree plan and shows you what transfers into that program from the things that you have inputted from your courses in your community colleges. And again, it gives you a percentage of requirements. It tells you how far you are already into the program to complete that degree at Fayetteville State University. So again, a great tool, that transfer equivalency self-service tool. Take a screenshot of this screen to make sure that you can use this tool in the future, okay? Now, the big question, which I'm not going to dive too much into because I don't want to take over the financial aid and student account session at 1:15, but this is pretty much how it works. You typically, for the cost of an associate's degree is $5,000. The cost of a bachelor's degree when transferring is roughly $8,000 for our online degree completion programs. So your total cost typically can be about $13,000. When you're eligible for this program, FSU will give you a grant of $3,000, therefore making this program $10,000 or less. And financial aid and student council will jump into a little bit later today, but they will give you the breakdown how each student situation is different. Now, when you see that out-of-pocket cost, that's not saying you have to pay $10,000 out of pocket. That's simply stating it refers to a cost that's not covered by financial aid at the time, and that's not covered by you may have some veterans or active duty that has some educational benefits. So at that time, it's not, what should I say? It's not allocated or is not attached to your account yet, right? So therefore, that's what that means. So once your financial aid comes in, if you have any other scholarships or grants or any veteran educational benefits, guess what? Then that will determine what the final out-of-pocket cost will be for you. But again, that's what out-of-pocket cost refers to in sense of the cost. But the most important thing I believe that we should take away from this is that you're getting quality instruction, you're getting a quality education from quality instructors and professors, and you're getting it all from under $10,000. I can't say that enough. Under $10,000. And I think that's awesome for a bachelor's degree to be under $10,000 and you get to finish within 3 years. So again, don't forget to don't miss that session at 1:15 with our financial aid where they give a more of a breakdown of that cost. Now, this is the part right here. You can apply now to Fayetteville State University, especially for those who plan on finishing their degree in spring of 2021, or maybe you're finishing this semester in fall 2020, or sometime you're going to plan to transfer to Fayetteville State pretty soon. You can apply now. Remember the first step, you have to complete that intent form, right? So we know that you're on the radar, so we can code you properly in our system. So once we receive your application, right, we can code you properly so you won't get charged the application fee and you can be receiving your degree for under $10,000. We already talked about that application fee being waived. Let's put that money, go ahead and put it right back in your pocket and save it in your bank as a 10K student. You don't have to pay that. Now, one of the requirements for a transfer student is you have to make sure that you submit all official transcripts from all previous colleges. I know you're saying, Mr. Wise, I went to Wayne Community College and that's where I received my my associate's degree. Do I have to submit the other transcripts? Yes, you do, because we're a UNC system school. We need all official transcripts from previous colleges to look at the whole academic picture to make sure that you see on your screen that 2.0 GPA. We have to make sure that you meet that GPA requirement, right? So we need all those official transcripts from previous colleges. Now, if a college pops up on the radar that you never attended, one thing you can submit is something called a non-attendance verification letter, but that's more down the road, right? Where you can set up an appointment with one of our admissions representatives that can explain that. Now, if you're under the age of 21, we will need your official high school transcripts. Again, we're UNC system school. It's just a policy. It's just a standard. Again, we want to make sure that we get everything we need to make that official decision. So you have to also complete your RDS, okay, which is residency determination service. And that's where they determine if you're in state or out of state. Now, remember in the beginning, you have to be a North Carolina resident to be eligible for this program. So if RDS determines you out of state, you will not be eligible, okay? So please, you see that website there, please use that website to determine what your residency will be, all right? Now, if you have any questions, you can contact us here in the Office of Admissions. This is our beautiful team, Dr. Darnett Hall in the middle, and Ms. Van on the left. Okay, Ms. Brooke Van, if you have any questions, please stay connected with us. Even though in this time and climate, you still can connect with us, talk to us face-to-face virtually. That is our contact information. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. And again, our admissions email, where Ms. Van actually managed that email so we can make sure we get your questions answered. And again, we can't just say enough to connect with us through our booking app. Also, you can connect with us through our social media platforms. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have Facebook. So please make sure you DM us. I think I said that right. I'm a little bit older and seasoned, right? So DM, I hope I said that right. Please make sure you visit our social media platforms, get in contact with us, because we would love to share more information with you, not just about admissions, but to also make sure we can share more information about the 10K program. And I want you to join us and be a 10K student so we can make sure that you get quality education for a quality price, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the brief overview of our 10K program and how you can play a part, how you can be a part of this awesome program that will allow you, again, to receive a bachelor's degree for under $10,000. And we're so glad that you're here today. So again, I'm Dante Wise from the Office of Admissions. You're going to see me again today. We're going to be here on this link. I think actually in 5 minutes, we will have the Department of Business. They will be here pretty soon. We're not going to bring them on yet, but they will be here. And we're going to make sure that your next session will be starting shortly, okay? And if you don't mind, Mr. McDuffie, we can go back to that guidebook slide if you don't mind. I feel like it's the next one. Please, if you're just tuning in, please make sure you download the guidebook, okay? And I think it's after this, so my apologies. Please make sure you download the guidebook. This will be your guide for today. Hence the name guidebook, right? You can plan your day. And again, we can't say it enough. Please, you can apply today. You can apply right now, especially if you plan on coming within the next year. But download this guidebook right here. Plan your day. Please check in. Make sure you're checking in, all right? You can enter a chance to win a prize from us. It will be a 10K t-shirt, okay? So please check in for us. And again, navigate through the guidebook, see what sessions you want to attend. The one that we have coming up at 11 o'clock, actually right here on this link, will be our business department, our Broadway College of Business Economics. They're going to speak on the accounting program, okay? And they're also going to speak on the general business program, which will be online, okay? Like I said, sometimes your head will go left or right to make sure you navigate properly. Also, what's going on at 11 o'clock, we have our Fire and Emergency Services Administration. They'll be on a different link. So when you download that guidebook, it will have different links for each session, okay? And then we'll also have the Department of English. And you'll see someone from admissions that will be in each of those sessions to guide you and kind of introduce the session and making sure that you get the information that you need. So we're so excited that our faculty and our advisors, academic advisors, are able to join us on these sessions to, again, to give you great information about those online degree completion programs, how you can play a part, and then being part of that 10K program. So we're excited about that. So if you haven't already, again, can't say it enough, download the guidebook. And I want to make sure before we get started and with the next session at 11 o'clock, I'm going to check to see if we had any questions so far. Like we don't have any questions yet, but that's fine. But again, if you have any questions, someone, please put them in the chat. Please put them in the Q&A section, depending on what session that you're in. And we want to make sure we answer those questions for you. We want to make sure that you don't leave this event today with not knowing more about Fayetteville State University, but most importantly, that 10K program and how you can be a part of the 10K program, okay? Now, again, like I talked about in my presentation, you frequently get that frequently asked question of what credits will transfer. Again, those advisors and those faculty members can have that answers for you today as far as quality of, the transfer of credits into the program. So again, as we're preparing, we have 2 minutes before we start at 11 o'clock. I'm excited about the next session. As we bring down our screen now, just so our business department can come in. I'm so excited about this next session because actually I'm a business graduate of Fayetteville State University. You may have heard me say at the beginning, and I'm a little biased. All of our programs are great online, but again, receiving that business degree, and we're going to have Miss Tammy Graves and Mr. Rodney McCrary, they're going to come in. I think since we have a couple of minutes, you all can come in, and I know they have their screens ready to share some great information with you. But again, I'm a little biased. Like I said, I love this program, and the business program has been stellar for years here at Fayetteville State University, and you're going to learn so much about that today. But as they're coming in, again, at 11:45, we will have our criminal justice program. They will actually be on this link, and then we'll also have psychology, we'll have sociology, we'll have political science, and then our next concurrent sessions begin at 12:30 p.m. There we will have nursing. Nursing will be on this link right here. We have birth to kindergarten, non-teaching, and then we have history. okay, at 12:30. And then what's going to end the day for us is at 1:15. When we're talking about your Bronco education being financed as a 10K student. Okay, you'll talk to our student accounts. That'll be promptly at 1:15. And then and also our financial aid department. Okay. So again, please download the guidebook if you haven't already. We're excited about the events today and the information that will be received from our departments, respective departments. And we're just excited. So I know Mr. Rodney and Miss Tammy Graves are about to come in. If you don't mind, get you all coming on into the room as we get more information about the business department. Again, we're so excited that you all are here today, our students, and it's promptly 11 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And I know Ms. Graves and Mr. Rodney are going to come on in. Don't forget to download the guidebook. We will be streaming today, okay? We are streaming live to our YouTube and our Facebook, okay? So again, you can catch all the information about Fayetteville State University's 10K program and speaking specifically with the online degree completion programs here at Fayetteville State University. All right. So again, this is Dante Wise. I'm the admissions senior assistant director of admissions here at Fayetteville State Office of Admissions. Wordful there. And we thank you for being here at our 10K program. And it seems like we may have some technical difficulties. Mr. McDuffie, we can have Mr. Rodney and Ms. Tamry get ready to share their screen. Not sure what's going on, but we do apologize for those technical difficulties because we're excited about the information that they're going to bring. There we go, Mr. Rodney. There you go. I see you.
All right.
Hey, you doing all right today?
Yes, sir. How about yourself?
Awesome, sir. Awesome. And Ms. Tammy Graves, we know you're going to be coming in pretty soon. There she go.
Yes,
She's coming in. She got the virtual background. There she goes. All right. So say it again.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And Mr. Rodney, I see you're on it. You're getting ready to share your screen. And as he's getting ready, don't forget, people, you can download the guidebook as he's getting his screen ready. We're streaming to live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook. This is being recorded, but you can always visit those two. Please subscribe to our YouTube so you can see this video again. And then also, again, we want to make sure that you get the information about our business program. We're excited. These are two great people that speak very well of their program, and I'm excited. I'm anticipating. I feel like this is maybe my first time being on with you two, so I'm excited. I've heard a lot of great things when you all present about this program, so I'm excited. And I'm gonna stop rambling and talking away. And Mr. Rodney and Ms. Graves, I'm gonna let you go ahead and present about the Broadwell College of Business and Economics and those two programs we offer online.
All right, greetings and good morning, prospective students. We want to give a big shout out to the Office of Admissions for inviting us to this platform today. It's a great day to be a Bronco at Fayetteville State University. I am your presenter along with my co-presenter, Mr. Rodney McCrory, and I serve as the assistant to the dean for student success here in the Broadwell College of Business and Economics. And I also have Miss Tamry Graves. She is our corporate and project manager for the College of Business. And we want to thank you so much for joining us here today. Feel free throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, post them and drop them in the chat. Ms. Graves will do her due diligence to make sure she's following the Q&A. But aside from that, we hope to have a great discussion today. So Ms. Graves, you would like to greet our audience today?
Yes, I will. Hello, everyone. My name is Tamry Graves. I am the Corporate and Community Relations Manager here at the Broadwell College of Business and Economics. And so that means I'm basically here for you. Anything that you need towards student success while you're in college and after college, I am here to help you with that. And so today I'll be serving as your co-host with Mr. McCrory and also viewing your questions. So during our session, if you'd like to speak with us or you have any questions that you just can't wait on, no worries, go ahead and drop that into the Q&A session. We'll be sure to take a look at that. But if you don't have any questions right now, that's okay. Go ahead and write down my email address. It's tgraves3@uncfsu.edu. And I'm very active on my email, so do not be afraid to reach out. And so I'm so excited to get started with you. And so today, our first slide, we're going to talk about our core principles. And basically, that's our foundation of our college and what we stand on. And so very quickly, that is academic advancement, student and faculty engagement, and economic transformation and community engagement. And in particular, I want to really talk to you about the student and faculty engagement, because that's something that we really have a passion for, because we love our students. And so we want to make sure we're engaging them as we should. And so how we do that is also with our corporate day, which we will talk about later, but also with our internships. So with internships, you get that project-based learning opportunity, that hands-on experience to learn under licensed professionals, not only in the classroom, but also in the community. And so with that, I'll be able to help you get that experience. I want to help you transition from college student to colleague. And so that's really what we stand on, is making sure our students are getting that excellent experience and opportunities to get out there and really put their hands on what they're going to school for. And so we're built on a combined culture of commitment. And so we have that social responsibility and community enrichment there for you. So come see me. Do not be afraid to reach out to me. I was a student not too long ago, and so I understand what you need. And so make sure you come and see me for those outreach experiences.
Thank you, Ms. Graves. And for you that may not know, Ms. Graves and I, we're proud alums of this great institution. So I'm going to have her come back a little later and share some of her testimonials about what the university has done for her, even up until this point now. I know the highlight of our discussion today is talk about our online accounting program and our general business online program. So what I'll do, I'll highlight some of those departmental opportunities for you students, and we look forward to seeing you. So we're going to move right along with our presentation here. So I won't spend a lot of time on this slide here. You can see all the accolades we have here in the Broadwell College of Business. You can read that for yourself or visit our website in your spare time to look at our merits. But one particular thing on this slide that I want to point out, that we are AACSB accredited institution, which means when you transfer to our College of Business, when you graduate, you are competing with millions of people from across the world with the same quality of degree. Our AACSB accreditation does not come by many. So we are one unique program right here in the Carolinas with this AACSB accreditation. And just know when you graduate from our College of Business that you're leaving with a competitive business degree. So on average, somebody will say, well, hey, well, what happens when your students leave and what's happening with employment? Well, I can tell you successfully over the last 4 or 5 years, our students have been successfully walking into industry, earning about $55,000 a year. And we do that based upon these principles that Ms. Graves talked about and our foundation that you see here depicted on the screen. What we want to ensure, even though you're transferring from your institution, we will make sure that you are career ready graduates when you leave Fayetteville State University. So now it's time for our Q&A, and I'll let Ms. Graves take it away.
All right. So just make sure that everybody can hear me. If you want to give me a thumbs up saying you can in a Q&A. Ms. McCord, we're going to go through some questions that prospective students may have. So we have a series here on our chart, so we're just going to go through them really quickly. So Ms. McCory, when I'm enrolling into the Broadwell College, you know, what do I do first? Who do I see? Who is my advisor?
Well, listen, you're on a series today. Your office admission should be your first stop to getting and applying to the university. Hence, after you move from that phase, then if you want to major in business, and we hope that all of you that are watching today, you want to major in business, I will be your first point of contact for business administration majors, just to kind of fact check where you are, how many hours you have transferred coming in. And once you do that, we have a host of professional advisors that will welcome you with open arms to kind of walk you through, give you a clear and distinct pathway for graduation. So we have about 4 professional advisors, including myself. I know I say I serve as assistant to the dean for student success, but that is part of our success, is making sure that you are properly advised so you can navigate from one phase of the curriculum to the next. So retention, matriculation, and graduation, that's our priority here in the College of Business.
Awesome. So I found my advisor. I know where to go. I visited admissions. I came to Mr. McCory. But what are the requirements that I need to transfer?
Great question, Ms. Graves. A lot of students, they call all the time. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. They get in an antsy. I have these credit hours. I have the GPA. What's going on? Well, what we do, we follow a system here at Fayetteville State through the College of Business. Your first priority is to make sure that everything is transferable to our registrar's office. And what we do, we check all that information. And so at minimum, if you have a 2.0 or higher, and you have those core courses transferred from your institution, more likely they're going to be transferred here too, and that will put you on the pathway to getting properly advised and making sure you're majoring in the discipline that you have interest in.
Awesome. So I have my advisor, I have my credits and classes, and I am ready to go. But with being ready to go, how long does that take to graduate? What is that length of time?
That's always a nail biter. When students come in, listen, if you have 60 credit hours or more, then you're roughly looking at 2 years remaining to obtain that degree. Some situations are more unique than others, but in the event, you're not at that 60 credit hour mark, then we still work with you to make sure that we could, matriculate you along to ensure that you have the necessary courses and you meet the requirements. Our bachelor degrees are 120 credit hours. So mostly half of our students that are coming in, they meet that mark. They're already at the threshold of graduating. So if you have at least, 60 credit hours, then you're well on your way to finishing your degree completion in a 2-year period.
Indeed. So I'm going to make sure I hit those books so I can graduate on time. And
Absolutely.
Indeed. And so I'm going to combine 2 questions in one. So are there online classes available? And if so, what are those programs and what do they offer?
So the sole reason you're here today, you know about our fully online accounting program and our general business program. But in addition to those 2 signature programs, they're high volume with those majors because we want to make sure we meet your comfort being able to learn remotely from home or around your work schedule or your children. Some of you may be single parents, and we are very sensitive around that. And we want to ensure that you get a quality education, even in the comfort of your home or wherever you may be located at that time of instruction. And then you can kind of learn the material at your own pace. And we seem to get great responses from our students at the end of the year with course evaluations on how faculty and staff work with them throughout the process, made them feel at home here at the university, and they learned a lot. So not only did they take away an academic skill, they took away some people skills as well. So our accounting and our general business program online, they do set students up for a pathway for employment, especially with our accounting firms. We've hosted a numerous amount of accounting firms here on our campus, and they are hiring our students. So we hope that you fall into that pipeline as well when you join us either in the spring or the fall.
Indeed. So I guess that answers the question, what type of environment I can expect. And basically that's that online environment. And with that being said, it is very hands-on. So that's a very trustworthy process. So thank you so much. So moving on to the financial aid transfers question and all of that, you will get more information later, as Mr. Wise said, at 1:15 during the financial aid session. So we hope to see you there as well. So from here, I think we can move on. But if you have any questions, I'll look to tag along with the ones I asked today. Please feel free to drop that in the Q&A, and we'll get to that at the end of the session.
Absolutely. And I will tout some of those programs here shortly so the students can see what we offer around the accounting and general business realm. Okay, so you see here we have AFHI department. Somebody said, well, what does that stand for? Well, we just touted our accounting component. We do have finance, healthcare, information systems, now known as our information systems and business analytics. And we will tell you, transfer students, if you're coming here to the College of Business, business and data analytics is a premier program and certification that industry is looking for. So we have a couple, we have one degree degree across a couple concentrations. You see here what those concentrations are, but I want you to focus on the bottom of the screen here. We just launched our risk management insurance program, but at the bottom, we have 3 opportunities for certifications through our SaaS, Microsoft, and Amazon as well. So when you come to the College of Business, make sure you're trying to leave not only with a degree, a quality degree, but you're leaving with some certifications. That has been our push here in the College of Business, and we're rapidly growing. Right now, we're sitting at approximately about a little over 1,600 students. So that speaks to the work that we're doing under the leadership of our dean, Mr. Ulysses Taylor, who couldn't be with us today, but he sent his condolences, his regards. And I will move along. We have one more department we want to highlight. We have our management, marketing, and our entrepreneurship, and our fire and science. I do believe our fire and science program, they're doing a presentation now. So we don't have to spend a lot of time there, but we have 2 degrees that you can get from this department here. And of course, make sure you meet that 120 credit hour mark. So some of you are coming in the door at least 60 credit hours. So like I said, you're going to be at the threshold with that. But again, here are more opportunities for you to get some type of certification. We have our human resources program here for certification, and we have our SAP, which is well sought after here in the Carolinas, outside of our sister tier institutions like your UNC Chapel Hill or your NC States. So you see before you here, these concentrations that we focus on here in the College of Business. And I can tell you, I can't make this up. Ms. Graves is a product of the business school. I'm a product of the business school. You heard Mr. Wise brag about the College of Business, and I'm sure some of your family members can tell you, listen, College of Business is the way to go. That's how the world is moving right now in terms of science and data analytics. Ms. Graves, by the way, what was your major when you were here?
My major was marketing. If you couldn't tell already, my major was definitely.
And I would tell you.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, Ms. Graves does a phenomenal job with marketing.
Thank you so much. It's such a great program to participate in. So if anyone's thinking about enrolling in it, please feel free to reach out to me and talk to me about it, because I'd love to, show you the way and then different resources that will help you out in getting through the program. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you.
And I know we are touting the programs here, but listen, we make things a little more personable too. You can come by my office, Ms. Graves' office, the dean's office, and just have a candid conversation about what do you want to take away from Fayetteville State University by majoring in these courses. Okay, it's not all about academics. We want to make sure you guys have a balance as well. So when you come here, I know you heard the word family, but that is so true. As a product of the institution, that's what navigated my success to where I am right now, is because I had people undergirding me and working with me and say, well, hey, you will be successful. And then being able to, think outside the box as well. Once you get this degree, take it, run with it. I often say from FSU, you can go anywhere. And we have testimonials out there where people have been successful, both through our accounting program and our general business program. So I'm gonna let Ms. Graves talk about her experience here. I think it's always welcoming when we have these opportunities on this platform to tell students and tell our story. We are working on telling our story more, and I think this is a segue to that, where we can tell more of our story. So Ms. Graves is a proud alum, as well as myself, from the institution, but she has a unique story, and I'd like to give her this opportunity to tell that story, if you would, please.
Indeed. So I would say my story is pretty unique and very interesting and such a blessing, if I can just be honest here. And so, but I'm not finished yet. I have a 2-part series going on here with my educational experience. And so, just like Mr. McCory said, it's like a family. And so I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about how it's like a family here at Fayetteville State University. I like to say it is, we not only reach out, but we like to reach back in. And so with my story, I started out as a freshman. I was born and raised here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And when I was in high school, I always knew where I wanted to go to college, and that was Fayetteville State University. It was a no-brainer for me, maybe because I was born and raised here, and that's all I knew. That's all I heard about, college experiences with my parents as well. They're alumni and my sisters. So of course, Fayetteville State for me was a no-brainer. I said, I'm going there. And so long story short, I went and enrolled into the business school. And from there, my academic and career took off. And I can say that my teachers were not only teachers just in the classroom, but they were mentors in my life. And some of the instructors that that were my instructors, I have them still with me today. And when I say have them still with me, they are my colleagues now. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to showcase a lot of my skills in school academically, but also extracurricularly, that they seen potential in me. And so from there, I had the opportunity to join on staff. And so that's what I'm doing now with my education. I got my marketing degree. I'm doing marketing with the business school. I not only reached out, but I reached back in. I'm giving my services with the school today just because I love it so much. And I want to be able to help students just like I was helped. And so now I made the decision to enroll into the graduate program. And so that's what I'm currently doing. That's why I said it's a 2-part series for me with my education. I'm in the grad program right now, and I'm so excited to graduate in spring 21. So excited about that. But when you come to Fayetteville State, you're getting a family experience, you're getting a hands-on experience, project-based learning opportunities. It's all there for you, and it's in a very comfortable environment where you don't have to feel like I'm a small fish in a really big pond. You're in a really big family with a hands-on experience that wants to encourage you to grow. And so that's just a little bit of my story. If you want to hear more, connect with me. I always say that because I'm always interested. I love people. So make sure you come and see me. But that's my story as a student here at Fayetteville State University. It benefited me so much. And now I'm here on staff. And so the possibilities are endless. So make sure you come and see us soon.
That was an outstanding story. And someone may say, well, what does that have to do with transfer? Have to do with transfer and advisement, or just a transfer student altogether? It has a lot to do with Ms. Graves' story. Listen, you could be a Tammy Graves. Matter of fact, you will be a Tammy Graves and beyond by coming here to the Broadwell College of Business. Those are some of the things that we do. We push students to the limit, to where there is no limit. They can just go and be great. So maybe to the right or left of your screen, I know it's to the left of my screen, you see all of our programs that I just mentioned here briefly. So I wanted her to take an opportunity to talk about that while you guys are able to, view what we offer here in the College of Business. So here are some new programs that we rolled out this fall. We have some certifications you see listed: risk management, concentration in insurance, disaster management, information systems and business analytics, health informatics. That is something major with our MBA program, and SAS certification. You have ERP certification, as well as joint certification with SAS through our business intelligence program. Now, once you leave the College of Business, we strongly want you to consider our MBA program. Why? Because that's a pathway to make your degree just that much richer. It's online component as well, and it's affordable. So when you go to our website, you'll be able to see some of the merits that we have associated with our MBA program and how it's been well respected around the globe, both locally and on the national level. So, Ms. Graves, I spoke to the group earlier and let them know that you were our program and corporate point of contact, essentially, for the College of Business. And a lot of people want to know, well, again, what does this have to do with transfer students? Well, when you come to the College of Business, your end goal is graduation, career readiness. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, I can. And like I always say, I always want to help students go from college students to colleague And how we do that is through an initiative called Corporate Day. So we not only do internship opportunities for students, but we have an opportunity to bring businesses and firms to them. And so we do that with an initiative called Corporate Day. And myself, Ms. McCory, and another one of our colleagues, Ms. Renelle Brown, an accounting faculty with us, work on doing that for our students. And so this past semester, we had a variety of different firms come through, from Infosys, tech companies like that, to government agencies like the FAA. And basically they just come and talk to students about, the opportunities within their firm. And they're coming to gauge talent. They're coming to share their knowledge about who they are. They're coming to facilitate sessions to show you how to write resumes. So when you're ready to engage in the real world, you're ready for them. All right. So that's what we do with Corporate Day. And so when you come to our school, please engage with us and follow us online. We have a Facebook, we have a LinkedIn, and also we have a Canvas course. So you not only have your classes on your Canvas, but you'll have your enrichment activities like the Business Majors Canvas course. And that's where you're able to talk to me directly and also find out about the different events and happenings, and opportunities that we have available here at the Broadwell College of Business. So make sure you get up with us so you can start participating in these events, because they're so helpful to students. I know they're very helpful for me.
Outstanding. If you can talk about, it's not just a presentation. I know we had to pivot because of, the pandemic and do everything virtually, but give us a scenario of what would happen if we brought, say, PricewaterhouseCoopers or Red Hat or Starbucks that's listed here on the screen, or even Emphasis. What would that look like if we were to do that, in a real face-to-face live session? And what happens post the meeting?
So in particular, if we have PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, a consulting firm, come to this school, they are coming to talk to students about the job openings that they have. So if you come to a session like that, you are coming to be measured, like how do you fit in with us? So you're going to a session where they're looking at you like, okay, what do you have for us? What is the talent, skill sets, and abilities that you have that we can use for our firm? And so you get to shake hands with these people. You get to learn about their personal experiences and how they got to where they are. And so from there, not soon after, if they like you, you're in there, you can get the job. So post is it's a really good outlook for the post results for these kind of corporate days. And so like if we have PwC, it's a recruiting event. They're looking at you, wanting to see what skills and talents you have that they can use for the firm. And then after that, they get in contact with you and hopefully you get the job.
Outstanding. So, I know we're kind of spending some time here. You want to see, okay, what is the return on your investment by transferring to Fayetteville State, particularly through the College of Business? Most recently, we had some students that received an intern at PwC. We had some students to be hired, and some reserved slots are available for students at Emphasis. We're working on another partnership as well. These individuals, we thought we had to go reach out to them, but in return, they're reaching out to us, and we think that's a good thing. So thank you, Ms. Graves, for sharing that information. So we can't tout enough about the program. Here's the proof of what we're doing. We are optimistic that these numbers are going to change where we're ranking. That's very important. That's another thing about your degree from the College of Business and what AACSB looks at, your rankings. So you want to figure out, okay, what's happening, who we need to talk to, and how we can be successful. So these are some of the things that we're doing here in the College of Business. So I think we have just a few more minutes left, and I want to focus on, our graduate studies. You see what we offer here. And again, we just want our students to be proud and successful here at the College of Business. So make sure you go out to our website, to the Broadwell College of Business and Economics, and see what we're offering in our graduate program. Because like I said, you're at the threshold, you have at least 60 hours or more transferring in. You want to see, okay, what is the road ahead? And if you can't find anything else, it makes perfect sense to me to remain somewhere where things are already going in the right direction and you're getting hired post-graduation. I can't put enough emphasis on that. So we will now take some questions from our lovely audience. Thank you for your patience. We try not to move too fast, but we want to make sure that we covered some of the major points of our College of Business. So are there any questions out there?
Mr. McCory, I am just going to add that I am looking at the Q&A chat box, and I do not see any immediate questions for us at this moment.
Well, Mr. Wise, I'm here. My video is going in and out, but the point is I'm here. I know one question, if you don't mind, can you guys share your contact information? I'm not sure if there was a screen already for that, because that would help out. I think there was a question in the chat about advising who they get in contact with, if there's a backup just in case that person doesn't respond to you right away. How can students navigate through that process of getting in contact with an advisor?
Okay. I hope you have something to write with. I will speak slowly because my email is lengthy, but I can be reached at rlmccrowre01@uncfsu.edu. That's rlmccrowre01@uncfsu.edu. My telephone number is area code 910-672-2142. Again, 910-672-2142. I'm always accessible. I may not respond within the hour, but if you at least give me 24 hours, you will have a response from me. And I reply quickly to email as well. So Ms. Graves, if you want to share your information again, I know you shared it earlier at the top of the conversation, but if you want to reroute and give us another opportunity to hear what that point of contact information for you.
Sure. And I will share my email because that is the best way to reach me. So my email is T as in Tom, last name Graves, like a graveyard, and then number 3. So tgraves3@uncfsu.edu.
Awesome.
And what I'll do, I'll share this information in the panel here, and that way you can grab it, Mr. Wise, and share it with our audience.
Right. Thank you so much. Yes, that'll be helpful that they heard it and now they actually see it when they put it inside the chat. So, great questions that I received as you all were presenting about the $50 application fee. So for those that may have already applied to Fayetteville State before learning about the 10K program today, you pay the application fee. Once you complete the intent form and we can verify that you're eligible for the 10K program, meaning you have an associate's degree and also that you received your associate's degree from one of the partner community colleges in North Carolina, then we can go ahead and process the refund, if you will. So that was a great question, I thought, because you may have had people that didn't know about the 10K program until today, so they've already started to initiate their process. So again, we will be able to refund once we verify your eligibility for the program. And then I had another question about student clubs and organizations. I know you all hit on that just a little bit, but the student asked if they're online, could they join a fraternity or sorority or maybe even be a part of the clubs and organizations on campus. Would you mind answering that question for me? As an online student, can you be active in clubs and organizations?
Well, I'll start with the academic clubs and organizations within our department. We have our NABA, that's the National Association for Black Accountants. They do well. They have gone to conferences and soared. We have our DECA program. They've been major with marketing and doing those types of things. We have our AITP. That is something major and huge. We've had a student come back, I think about 2 semesters ago. He went off to do well in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he often brags about, how AITP has set him up for success, even in the banking industry. We have our BLI, our Broadwell Leadership Institute. That's something that's new in the College of Business, and they have taken off. They're lately putting on a lot of programs dealing with leadership, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship, and that's been in collaboration with our American Enterprise Institute. That's a phenomenal program where students are learning about, economics and things of that nature. And then we also have our Enactus program. Our Enactus program actually houses a clothing closet, a clothes closet here in the Broadwell College of Business. So that's a very vibrant program. Our Phi Beta Lambda. A lot of students, need to learn about that program, right? Learning how to be business leaders for today, not tomorrow, but for today. I had the opportunity to take some students out to San Antonio, I think semester before last, and I almost feel like it was a month ago, because the students went out, they represented the university well. They made it to the nationals. So that goes to say what we're doing here locally, where students can go compete at a national level there with PBL. Ms. Graves, I don't think I'm missing anyone. And then we have our unique our healthcare program. I don't want to overlook them. They're doing well as well. So they have strong partnerships with our healthcare systems here locally and abroad. Dr. Bushell does a phenomenal job with that organization as well. She has a strong partnership over in Barbados. So unfortunately, weren't able to take students over there this time, but they went to Barbados and left their footprint there in Barbados. I think I covered everybody except for our Dean Student Advisory Council. That's our little leadership, our ambassadors within the Broadwell College of Business. They're the ears and eyes to everything that's happening in the college. If some things need to be brought to our attention in terms of navigating to make things a little bit more comfortable for students, then they're our go-to students in the department. So, in terms of your question about fraternities and sororities, I think our student affairs has no withdrawal of students joining the organization. But I would say if you go to the student affairs website, and they will kind of help you navigate to what the policies and procedures are for joining our D9 organizations. I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and I also serve as the chapter advisor here on campus. And we screen students well, and we haven't had any issues with students transferring to the institution, even if they were online. We still want to make sure that, you had some face-to-face, interaction. But, things change by the second, by the day. So we want to make sure that we remain in compliance. So that's something I need to investigate to really answer your question. If a student is just totally online, there's no interaction on campus, how do we, navigate that process? Did that answer your question, Mr. Wise?
Yes, I think it answered that student's question. I don't know if Ms. Tamry, I think you covered it, maybe it all, but I'm not sure Ms. Graves had any input or anything as far as the question.
Oh, he did a great job. He covered everything. I do want to mention that we had one more organization that we did not get to mention, and that is the AEI. And basically that's dealing with the American Enterprise Institute, to be exact. Mm-hmm. And that is dealing with government and politics and business. And so that's a really great organization, very active, and we'd be glad to share more information with you after the session.
Awesome. And again, they put their contact information inside of the chat for those who are watching right now. So please get in contact with them. And again, I'm not going to, talk about Mr. Rodney's fraternity he chose. We're not going to do that. But a graduate of Fayetteville State, of course, I've joined Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So again, there's so many different things you can join where all these organizations, whether fraternities, sororities, or just student clubs and honor society, you still can make an impact in that organization and in your community. And I think that's what we all can agree upon, that we try to do everything we can to impact our community and our campus. And I think that's a great deal. Now, I do have a question as we have 3 more minutes before we kind of do a transition to the next session. For online students, it may vary from program to program, right? As far as what credits they have at their community college. And you may have addressed this already throughout your session, but are there specific courses that you would tell a student to take at the community college level so they won't, so they can transfer into that online program?
Absolutely. If they get an opportunity to visit our website, there is a link there to take them to the 4-year degree plan. And once they be able to navigate through that 4-year degree plan, they will see some of the core courses that are transferable from that community college. So standard like your English, your math, your sciences. A lot of students, they're waived to take, at UNIV when they come because they've taken those, access courses there at the community college. So a lot of courses are core related, and some of the courses do, navigate into the higher up level courses, especially those students that are coming in with associate degrees. So all that information, can be found there if they visit that FSU link, click on the academic resources and navigate down to where they see 4-year degree plans. You have an option for a first-year student, and you also have the option for transfer student. So either scenario should work for those students.
Awesome. And what I would do, I would put the 4-year degree plan link inside of the chat so that all of our attendees can access that and know how to, versus navigating throughout the website, they can just go straight to the 4-year degree plan, look up business online or accounting online or any business program for that matter. So of course, as your thing say, thank you for joining us today. I definitely want to give a great hand to Ms. Tammy Graves and Mr. Rodney McCrary. We thank you so much for presenting for us today for our Broadwood College of Business and Economics, specifically for our online programs for general business, business administration, and for our accounting online. And as I stated to you all already, for $10,000, you've seen the rankings on the screen, right? So you already understand what you're getting with Fayetteville State University, with the quality of programs that we offer here, and the cost. So if you didn't know, Fayetteville State University overall, as a public university in North Carolina, we're the 4th most affordable school in the state of North Carolina. And for us to have top 5 programs, MBA programs, accounting online, if I'm not mistaken, they're top 5 in the country, if I'm not mistaken. So to have those types of programs, shout out to business, woo woo, to have those programs and still be able to only spend $10,000 or less, I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, what better bargain? You can't beat that, right? And I think that's awesome. I think that speaks to our 10K program. So if you're interested, please, I'll go ahead and make sure I put in the chat again some quick links for you to go ahead and complete that intent form. I put it in there already, but I want to put in there for you again to make sure that you complete that intent form so we know that you're interested, so we can put you on our radar, so we can go ahead and get that application process started. If you just started, it's okay if you just started at your community college. Again, you can plan out until 2024, until 2025, and we'll know who you are. So once that term gets closer, we can go ahead and make sure, again, that we can get an application on file, make sure we continuously communicate with you. I'm sorry for looking to the left. I wanted to add one more thing as far as the quick application for those who are looking. You can go ahead and apply right now to Fayetteville State University. We are accepting applications for the next coming term of spring, summer, and fall 2021. So again, thank you, Mr. Rodney McCrary. Thank you, Ms. Tammy Graves. Great presentation. This was our School of Business, okay, for Broadwood College of Business and Economics. Yes, sir, real quick.
Before you leave, it's only right, and we want our audience to know what we're all about. We know we said res non verba, deeds not words. That's our theme. That's our focus here at the university. But listen, there's a family chant that we always utilize. We want you to join us as well as we close out our session. Can I get an attitude check? Can I get an attitude check?
Right?
Listen, thank you for having us. Anytime you need us in the future, feel free to give us a call.
Awesome. Thank you, God. Thank you all again for joining us. Again, this was our business session. We're actually going to stay on this link for our next session, which will be our Department of Criminal Justice. So Dr. Sarah Brightman, she's about to come on in. We have Dr. Angela Taylor and Dr. Shakar Hard. They will be coming in. Again, thank you, Ms. Graves and Mr. Rodney. We thank you and Godspeed to you all. And again, for those who are just joining us, be mindful that this is our virtual 10K day. So we're excited. We just got done with our business program, talking about online business and accounting. And now we're going to talk about criminal justice. But before they come on and we get started, don't forget to download your guidebook. My man in the background, Mr. McDuffie, he's going to put that on the screen really, really quick, how you can download our guidebook, okay? Again, it's very imperative that you do that because it helps you to plan your day for today. There's so many different sessions going on today. And at 11:45, we start our next set of concurrent sessions, okay? So as you see on the screen, thank you so much, Mr. McDuffie. As you can see, you download this guidebook, whether you have an Android device or an Apple device, you can download it. It is accessible. If you don't know how to navigate through your Play Store or your App Store, you can use this link. You can take a screenshot of it and you can type it in. We want you definitely to download the guidebook again to give you access to what's going on today. As you can see on the far right of my screen, it should be on your screen too. As you can see what the guidebook looks like once you download it, you'll be able to access us through Facebook, which we're streaming live today, YouTube live today. You'll be able to become a Bronco. You see where it says be a Bronco? I always say FSU is the only choice, right? So that's where you can become a Bronco at, right there at Fayetteville State University. And please check in today, okay? We want you to check in because you enter a chance to win a prize of one of our 10K t-shirts. So please check in today as our attendees. We want you to be mindful of what's going on today, and we're excited that you're here and that you're learning about Fayetteville State University. So again, please download the guidebook, all right? It is your guide to what's going on for our virtual 10K day here at Fayetteville State University. So thank you for sharing that screen, Mr. McDuffie. As I stated before, we have 1 minute. I'm gonna ask Dr. Brightman, Dr. Taylor, and Dr. Shakarhar to come onto the party. I think it may be Dr. Brightman that may be sharing her screen. Hey, how you doing, Dr. Brightman? Whoever that may be, you can go ahead and get that set up. But again, we're so excited that you all have joined us. Again, we may have some people tuning in with us now. Again, we're about to start our criminal justice session, okay, about our online criminal justice program. It specifically caters to our 10K program, okay, to make you eligible for that 10K program. We know that there's some great information. Again, I can't say enough. I'm excited, you all, okay? I love talking about the 10K program. And I think the most important thing is how this program can create that pathway for a student to get quality programs for under $10,000. And you cannot beat that. And I think that's awesome that you can't beat that. So again, we're excited. It's 11:45 on the dot. I think I did a soft introduction already. Again, you have Dr. Brightman, Dr. Taylor, and Dr. Shakarhar. They're going to give you some information about our stellar online criminal justice program. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you so much for the great introduction. I'm Dr. Brightman. I'm the interim department chair for the Department of Criminal Justice. And I'm going to allow my colleagues to each introduce themselves so that they can light up and you can see which one is which and who everybody is.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Taylor, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Criminal Justice.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Zara Shakarhar. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Criminal Justice. Thank you for joining us today.
And we're going to share our contact information with you so that if you have any questions, you can go ahead and send us an email. We've got a slide coming up that's got that information. And also I'm about to put it into the chat box, my specific email. So you can grab it right out of there if you need to get me. So we have a bunch of information to share with you today, but first we want to give you a little bit of interest into why you might want to come to FSU and be a criminal justice major. What is so cool about studying criminal justice? And Dr. Taylor is going to take it away.
Hey, guys, are you ready to do some trivia this morning? I think trivia is a good wake up. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. What I want you to do is to put your answers in the chat. And when you do that, address it to everyone, like the panelists and the attendees. And when I ask you the questions, I'll give you a little bit of time to answer. And once you're ready with your answers, write that in the chat as well, so I can tell you what the actual answer is. Okay, so let's get started. First question, what percentage of criminal cases are solved using DNA evidence?
We should have grabbed the Jeopardy music for the background.
Yeah, we probably should have. I see one person says half. Anyone else?
You can take a guess. There's no testing here. All right, you want to give it to them?
Yeah, let me give you the answer, guys. It is
Oh, there we go. There we go.
1%, which is a bit the opposite of 95%. But only a small percentage of cases tend to be solved with DNA evidence, despite what you might think looking at NCI, Las Vegas, and all those other type of shows like that. Okay, so next question. Approximately how many Americans spend at least 1 day in jail each year? Anyone? Someone says 1
We
million.
got a 1 million.
Any other responses?
You can take a guess.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Okay.
500,000, that's another guess. How about I give the answer? 7 million. Actually, quite a few people are in jail, you know, at least, or spend at least 1 day in jail each year. Let's go to our next question. What percentage of criminal cases actually go to trial? Again, this is one of those things that you might think it's one way based on watching Law and Order, but it's probably something different than what you expect. Anyone?
28%.
28%, that's not a bad guess. Anyone else? 25%. Close, but not quite. The actual number is less than 5%. Believe it or not, most cases are pled out. So very few cases go to trial in the criminal justice system. Next question. What is the most common form of punishment in the United States?
We've got prison and probation in the chat box.
Prison and probation. It might be one or the other. I see 2 probations and 1 prison. And I'm going to spill the beans here. It is probation. Probation is the most commonly used form of punishment in the United States. Okay, last question. What percentage of Americans have some form of a criminal history or criminal justice history? And that's defined as at least 1 arrest. 75%.
25%.
25%. Any other guesses? 62%. Okay, the answer is actually 33%, which is a pretty significant chunk of the population, although it's not everybody. So these facts and more are the types of things that you'll learn if you come join us at FSU. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Brightman, who's going to talk more about our excellent program.
Hey everyone, we love doing those trivia games, partly because it's so interesting to see how people respond given what we learn in the media, especially through television. And I get so many criminal justice majors coming and say, oh, I love Law and Order and I'm always watching Law and Order. And then they come and you discover what kinds of myths and facts they may have learned from loving those TV shows. So we're trying to dispel some of those questions that people have about the criminal justice system. As you can see here, that we are recognized among the 35 most affordable colleges for bachelor's degrees in 2020. And these types of acknowledgments are things that we consistently get year after year from a variety of different sources for both our undergraduate and graduate degree, in terms of affordability, in terms of return on investment. So there's a variety of these accolades on our department website under the newsletter. So you can go to that website and look for more information about these accolades that we get. We have several degree programs here in our department. We have obviously the Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice, and we also have that as an online degree completion program. And that's why I think most of you guys are here to talk to us today. Our department has 11 full-time faculty who have PhDs or Juris Doctorate degrees. We have adjuncts that come from a variety of professional backgrounds. We have 2 judges who regularly serve as adjuncts for us. We have a retired police officer who serves as an adjunct for us. So there's a lot of experience between those of us that are full-time faculty and the adjuncts that we have. So a little bit more about our online degree completion program, because again, many people coming through the 10K programs, that's a real benefit in terms of what you may be able to do through our program. So we were one of the very first online degree completion programs on campus. We really were one of the piloting projects for this. So we have more than 10 years, almost turning on 15 years of experience of teaching online in criminal justice. All of our faculty are certified in teaching online, and all of us here have years of experience doing that. So our online degree completion program allows you to complete all of your 300 level required and elective courses entirely online. And so we offer a variety of those elective courses every single semester online, so you're able to fill those requirements. And our required courses are always offered online every semester, so you won't have to wait for a required course to come online. They're offered every semester. So we have some really great elective options in our program. We have things like criminal justice ethics, juvenile justice system, prisons and society, race, class, and gender, victimology, media and crime, just a whole host, drugs and crime, of elective courses for you to choose from. We also offer 370 courses as electives, and those are really great opportunities for faculty to show their experience and their expertise in different electives, because we can rotate those topics, and we've offered things like serial killer, guardian ad litem. Dr. Shakar has offered immigration and crime courses. So it's a great opportunity for us to add a variety of different elections into the program. So we have a great opportunity for you to be able to come to us, finish out your criminal justice degree online. We have great experience doing it. We have great options for you for classes. And so there's really no, hangups or hookups in terms of being able to complete that degree online. And even for students who are coming to us as transfer students and online students, we have great opportunities for you to get involved in student organizations. And Dr. Shakar is going to tell you a little bit more about that.
Hi again. So I'm actually serve as a advisor for one of the student organizations. On the screen on the left, you'll see the symbol for the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice. And on the right, you'll see the symbol for our honor society, Alpha Phi Sigma, for which Dr. Taylor is the advisor for that. Or there will be 2 separate organizations. We tend to collaborate on most events. The National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice, we call it NABJA for short, is our general criminal justice club. It's open to all students, regardless of race, ethnicity, regardless of major. The annual dues are less than $20 a year. The Honor Society, on the other hand, there is a one-time membership fee that actually, if you join as a student, is much cheaper than you would as an adult, or someone who's not a student, I should say. That's good for life. And this affiliation is very useful for students because when you're looking for jobs, especially government, federal government jobs, that is a question that comes up on the questionnaire. Are you a member of the Honor Society? So it really gives you a leg up, and it's a really good investment. Most students, there is a GPA requirement for that. So most students tend to join in their last semester right before they graduate. If you're a transfer student, you need at least 1 semester of coursework before you get your GPA established. But it's good to start thinking about that, early on, so you can save for that membership fee, but also be involved so your professors know who you are, so they can write you good letters of recommendation and all of that. Some of the activities we've done in the past have included taking students to professional conferences at the national and local level and state level. Networking events at other universities where professionals in the field have come and met and talked with our students and offered internship opportunities and career opportunities. We've also hosted guest speakers on campus related to the field. We've had detectives, police officers, and then we've had social justice related speakers come, people who work for nonprofit organizations, victim advocates, mediators. And so there's a whole range of different careers, and I'll get to that in a second here. You can do with criminal justice, but so in both organizations, we try to expose you to all the options and not just that traditional, police officer or law enforcement job that you think of when you watch some of those TV shows. We also like to have social events like potlucks. We like to celebrate at the end of the semester. When homecoming is in session, we participate in parades. We have a homecoming queen and king. So that's a lot of excitement. Now, this past year, we've been all online. Given the COVID situation, we still have been very active, and this moving online has allowed a lot of online students to get more involved because our activities are all being hosted virtually. We were still able to coordinate a virtual forum recently on social justice and activism. We also hosted a virtual game night recently, and that was a lot of fun. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to continue hosting events virtually. And we, again, we're growing the number of online students and graduate students who participate in our organization. And it provides you a great networking opportunity because others in the organization oftentimes have jobs in the field already, and they can act as mentors for you, or they could get you connected, and you can have, more than you can learn about different aspects of the criminal justice more than what you learn in the classroom academically. The last thing I like to say, incentives for students, active members qualify for graduation cords. So in graduation, you can wear your nice regalia that you'll stand out a little bit from others, highlighting that you've participated in the club. National organization has very fancy regalia. So you can stand out a little bit, but it's definitely important. I know I'm biased as an advisor for this club, but it's really important to get involved in at least one activity while you're completing your degree, whether it's with us in the criminal justice department or another organization on campus. That's how you really make your resume stand out from other students, because everyone who's graduating in your class will have a bachelor's. But what makes you different, and why should employers give you a second or an interview? So being involved in an organization is a great way to do that. And it's very easy. You can be as involved as you'd like, or kind of just, kind of sit back and observe. And that is all for the clubs. I want to talk a little bit about what our alumni, what our graduates have done. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of career paths in criminal justice. It's not just a law enforcement route. A lot of our students go on to graduate programs, not only in criminal justice, but in also other disciplines like psychology, sociology, social work. We lose some of them to the business side of things as well, but a lot of them, very, very varied disciplines. A lot of our students want to go to law school, okay, and they're interested in doing that. So what are our graduates actually doing. So we've actually had a lot of, really successful students come out of our program. We have students who are in law enforcement, as police officers in North Carolina, working for the sheriff's office. We also have, as highlighted here in the PowerPoint, we have people who work as court victim advocates. And so that's a really good avenue. It merges sort of criminal justice and social work together. You're trying to advocate for victims and not just working on apprehending criminals or prosecuting criminals, but you're actually working for victims. We have Department of Defense fraud investigators. We have students who go on to work for nonprofit organizations or start nonprofit organizations. We recently heard about a student who has started a nonprofit organization around Black-owned businesses, highlighting Black-owned businesses in the community. So our students go on to do a lot of different things, not just that traditional law enforcement aspect. And so we're here to help you explore those opportunities. We're constantly sharing internship opportunities, job openings, just to make you aware early on what you need to do when you go into the job market, what kind of skills are they looking for, and the application process. So we're here to help you as much as you allow us to. And I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Dr. Shakar. I've been trying to keep up with the chat, so if you saw me looking over there trying to respond to the question that we have down there, I did want to say, the question was about the FBI. We do have a student who graduated and is currently in the FBI. She's been back here a couple of times to do recruitment activities for the FBI. And then also 2 summers ago, we had 6 students from FSU go for paid internships with the FBI over the summer. I think maybe 2 of them, maybe 3 of them were from criminal justice. And so there's a variety of different avenues and pathways into the FBI. There's opportunities to work with, Dr. Shakar was talking about the business side of things, criminal justice and different forms of accounting help with looking at white collar crimes and cyber crimes and a variety of different financial crimes and fraud and things like that. So these different opportunities don't necessarily mean that you're going to be a gun-toting, arresting type of FBI agent. There's a lot of different types of pathways into these organizations.
Yeah, and to add to that as well, Sarah, there's a lot of jobs in each major organization. You're going to have a research side to all these organizations. So organizations like the FBI, the CIA, Bureau of Justice, they all have the research component. They have people compiling statistics. So you can be part of those organizations and not ever be a trained agent, but still be involved in those organizations. So something to keep in mind. And as well, and you have those similar positions in local and national in law enforcement agencies as well. So you have state agencies, State Bureau of Investigations. There's different avenues for you to pursue if you want to be in an agency, but not in that capacity of being a sworn law enforcement officer. So, they're always looking for all types of individuals with different skills, computer skills, all different types of skills. You don't have to be a gun-toting agent, like Dr. Brightman said.
And there's another question down in the chat box about if our graduates are prepared to be successful in completing basic law enforcement training, which is a really great question. And I think that speaks to some of the things we've been talking about with, we really try and prepare our students to be, to go into the fields and into the careers with the educational and social justice background that they need to confront some of the issues that are happening in our society these days. And so to have people that come out with a bachelor's degree and go into basic law enforcement training can really help increase the education background and understanding of the issues that police officers are facing from an educational side of things versus the more hands-on, tactile, basic law enforcement training side of things. So we would really hope that our graduates would be better prepared to go on to basic law enforcement training because of the educational background where they can already understand and see the issues that police officers may be facing as they go out into the field, and help to reduce those things, number one, in the day-to-day interactions that they have, but number two, as they work their way through maybe the chain of command to be people in higher positions. And I got to tell you, a lot of our master's students are already in law enforcement, and they're looking for those educational opportunities to increase the diversity within the field, as well as to bring an educational background inside of things into the organizations that they work for, to create change for the better. So I think a lot of us faculty talk to our students about, that the idea that they're going into these institutions that they can be agents of change that we'd like to see in our society today. So thank you for that question.
Dr. Brightman, did you answer the question about having a law degree or needing to be a criminal justice major?
No, I think I skipped over that one. Do either of you want to take that, or I can do it?
Yeah, I can take it. I actually, it's a really good question. I actually had the opportunity to work at the law school as a undergraduate work study when I started my degree. And you do not need to have any specific type of undergraduate degree to go to law school. Actually, you'll see a very diverse group of people go to law school. A lot of times you want to be a good writer and you're going to read a lot. So English is a popular major, or you can double major with criminal justice and maybe pick up English just to improve your writing skills. Business, art students. I have to say, those people who end up in court, those trial lawyers, the best ones are those who were acting or drama students, because they have that experience on stage, and I'm speaking from seeing that, firsthand. So you can have any major to go on to become a lawyer. And I think the same is true for law enforcement. There isn't a requirement that I've seen where it said you needed to have a degree in criminal justice. I think it's preferred oftentimes to have a degree in criminal justice or a related field, but it's for the most part not a requirement.
So with that same question, I want to take a moment to brag about one of our graduates. Actually, here at FSU, our Title IX coordinator, who works in the legal office, who is an attorney, she was one of our undergraduates before she went off to law school. So it's great to have our students graduate, go to law school, and come back and work here on campus. So that's certainly an opportunity that criminal justice students can have if they wanted to become a lawyer. Great, thank you. Any other questions that we can answer for you?
Well, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get those questions, right? I think Dr. Taylor mentioned it earlier about the CSI, that percentage of evidence, DNA evidence being used, less than 5%. So there's a disparity there, right? People believe that when they see these shows that they get the evidence on Monday, and by Tuesday or maybe by Monday night, they already have an answer. Can you kind of further explain how that works, even with DNA evidence, how that process is? They see the first 48, all these shows, right? Could you kind of explain the difference in forensic science and what they see actually on TV? And I know forensic science is a different field, if you will, compared to criminal justice, but I know they learn some things in criminal justice about the field. So is there any advice you can give on that process and how it really works?
Well, generally, in most cases, TV shows are about things that are extraordinary. And the fact of the matter is, crime is not really an extraordinary event for the most part. A lot of those shows like CSI or whatever focus on murders. Most crime isn't murders. Most crimes are misdemeanors, small bore things. So that's one example of a discrepancy, rather, between what you see on TV and what you see in the criminal justice system. The other issue is it's not very often that crimes provide evidence that lends itself to sophisticated analyses. Take, for example, a burglary. Um, People have had, unfortunately, the experience of being burglarized. The police officers come to their place and they may not even do anything like dust for fingerprints. And part of that is because it's very difficult, even with that type of evidence, to find someone who, commits burglary, or to find people who commit burglary. Most burglaries are opportunistic. Somebody leaves their window open, somebody comes in, boom, takes their stuff. And so there isn't a lot of purchase or advantage in, using fancy schmancy DNA techniques in order to uncover the offender. So that's what I'd say about that.
And if I can add too, I like to tell my students, everything in the criminal justice system takes a really long time. From even when someone's arrested to when they, go to trial or get an opportunity to plead, that could take months or years. The more severe the crime, more serious the crime, the longer that's going to take. So everything in the CJ system is just really slow. And when you see, and the CJ system is it's burdened with a lot of, cases coming before them, and they don't have the time to necessarily dedicate to each case. And when there is forensic evidence that needs to be analyzed, there a lot of times smaller areas, cities, don't even have the facility to do the analysis themselves, and they have to send it off to a state lab or something like that. So there's a lot of moving pieces, and you're dependent on, is there a backlog of cases that need to be, or evidence that needs to be analyzed before you get to your evidence? And that's kind of why, if something like a burglary may not receive that same attention for detail as a homicide would, where you have a greater chance of perhaps catching someone or getting a suspect if you do that thorough analysis. And so everything takes a lot of time, which is frustrating. But, we also, we try to teach our students that it's a balancing act between, justice for victims, but also protections for those who are accused or suspected of committing a crime. And so that's the price we pay to live in the society with the rules that we have. We have to, everything just takes a little longer, but we want to make sure that it's done right.
Yeah, I think, and there's one more thing that I would add to that, is that the kind of question and some of the information that we have launched from the idea that we watch so much TV in our society, and the CSI effect is something that we actually are researching in criminology and criminal justice, how these fictional TV shows impact how and what we believe in criminal justice. But the regular news media creates the same kind of problem and issues that we're talking about here. We often hear the media tagline, "If it bleeds, it leads." So the idea that so much crime is violent crime and everything's a homicide really also comes down from how the news media covers it, because as Dr. Taylor said, so many things can be much more minor crimes, but we're not hearing a news story every time someone's shed's broken into and their rake is stolen. There's all of these little things that don't get acknowledged by the news media either, for us to really have a false perception about the types of crime, how serious crime is. Don't get us started on things like kidnappings and some of those types of crimes with, the frequency, who commits them, are really things that we need to have a better understanding of in society. So Mr. Wise, I see you're back.
Yes, because I definitely, I think questions are important because, with presenting the information, these questions kind of bring out more for students. And, with criminal justice being such a satisfying career field, if you will, and degree, with these students in this 10K program, we give them up to 3 years to finish the online degree completion in criminal justice or any of the online programs, correct? So what is the fastest you've seen someone complete our online degree program for criminal justice? Because you may have that student that says, I have an associate's degree and it's not going to take me 3 years. What can I do to finish sooner? So again, I guess it's a two-part question. What can a student do to finish sooner? And also, what's the fastest you all seen in your experience someone completing their bachelor's online after having an associate's?
So I've got a really great answer for you. FTCC has created a 3+1 program, and they can get a student through their programs in 60 hours, and they come to us and finish in 30 hours. And so they are with us for 2 semesters before they graduate. And what we've done with the 10K schools is to work out pathways. And we have a curriculum guide for every one of the 10K schools that provides a pathway that shows, okay, maybe if you take 2 or 3 more courses at the community college during your regular program there, you can come to us and be out in that 30 credit hours, or you can come and be here for 3 semesters. So we have worked really hard with the community colleges and the 10K pathways to show exactly the ways that things transfer. Now, the different schools, they have different types of degrees. Sometimes we have, an Associates of Science, but we also have the Associates in Applied Technologies degrees that make every school a little bit different. So if you want to contact us, we can look up that degree program that we have for the individual community colleges, that we can figure out the best way and the fastest way for you to get through both the community college program and come here and be done as expediently as possible. So there are some really great pathways for you to get into FSU and get out in a year if you take the right combination of courses at the community college. But realistically, I think that there are a lot of people that come in and are done in that 2 years or less timeline. It's all about whether or not, you're able to do a full-time load. We'd also try and encourage students here at FSU to do 15 hours a semester. So that gets you through pretty quickly. And of course, we never want you to not pass a class, have to retake a class. So those are the types of things that we're afraid when, might take you a little bit longer. But if you come in here working hard and communicate with your professors, that's one of the pieces of advice for students coming from community colleges that go into online degree programs. They kind of feel like they're anonymous and they just come in and take the classes. But really communication and getting that personalized attention that we're great at doing at FSU. We're great at being able to get to know your name. And part of that is on your side too, if you reach out and you talk with us. And having those relationships really can help you get through the program, take the right courses in the right order, and come out with recommendation letters. That's another things that students often don't think about when they're in these online programs. They come and say, I've been here for 2 years. I don't have anyone to ask for a recommendation letter. If you've been here for 2 years, you've got professors who have worked with you. So make sure that from day one, you're reaching out, introducing yourself and getting to know the faculty. Because even in the online environment, just like we're doing here today, you can build relationships with folks.
Awesome. Thank you for asking that question. I think, it's so important again that there's some questions that students have and they ask and they're curious. I know when I was in school, I thought about the CSI. I'm like, oh man, that may be interesting, but to hear those facts and actually know what the program entails, and not necessarily just tying it to being a lawyer or tying it to be law enforcement. It could be loss prevention. You can work in insurance possibly with this degree. So to get that type of information, I think is very, very, very helpful to our students and our prospective students out there that want to join the 10K program. So, again, I'm always excited, especially when it comes to talking about Fayetteville State University, but also talking about this 10K program, how we can create that pathway for our students, especially in the criminal justice program. So before we end, I want to ask you all this question. I just need maybe 1 or 2 words. How can you describe the online degree completion program for criminal justice? 1 or 2 words of each of you here at Fayetteville State.
This is Dr. Taylor. I would say it's substantive and informative.
Thank you.
I'm thinking it's worth the money.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And Dr.
Yeah,
Brightman?
I would say informative, and I think that we really try and challenge you academically and as a person to come out the other side with, really great skills and information. So that's many more words, but yeah.
But it makes sense. And I think that's awesome. So you all can see their contact information. I am so thankful for you ladies for giving us this great information about our online degree completion program in criminal justice. As you can see, people, if you look on your screen, please take a screenshot, take a picture with your other phone, whatever you have to do, make sure you get this information so you can get in contact with these ladies. And again, I'm so grateful that they were able to share the information about their criminal justice program here at Fayetteville State University. Woo, woo, criminal justice. There we go. Raise the roof a little bit, right? And again, and what's going to happen at this point, we're getting ready for our next session that will actually be at 12:30, which would be next will be our nursing department. So we're going to start promptly at 12:30. And again, I can't thank you ladies enough again for your time and your insight. And I think it's very good that students can say, yes, I'm eligible for this 10K program, but I know exactly what I'm getting myself into and I know what to expect. And one thing I always preach about, I'm sorry, I'm a preacher, so I got to say preach, that I preach about Fayetteville State University is that it's family. And you can see the sincerity, right? You can see the genuineness in our interaction with you, right? Because we care about you, and our instructors care about you. Dr. Brightman being the interim chair, they care about you. It doesn't matter what their title is. They want to see you go far. I know that's what we say sometimes. When you come here, you go far, and we're proud to be Broncos here. And I'm so glad that it's contagious on our campus, right? It's very contagious that no matter what department you're going to feel like you're part of a family. You're going to feel like people care about you and they want to see you go the right route. And I think that's awesome. Even when you can get that from an online program,
Absolutely.
right? You can still get that connectivity. You don't have to be on campus. And that's what's so awesome about being online here at Fayetteville State University. You're still a part of this campus. And we're going to treat you as if you're in the classroom itself, or we're talking to you face to face in our office. And I think that's wonderful. So again, ladies, I can't thank you enough for, again, sharing some information with us and spending some time with us. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And people, please get in contact with our criminal justice department, okay? Online degree seeking program. And again, 10K program under $10,000. Come on, you can't beat that, under $10,000.
Absolutely.
So again, thank you. So if you're just joining us, don't forget that you can download the guidebook. Okay, the guidebook will give you information about what else is going on today. We have other sessions that are going on today. At 12:30, we have nursing that will be presenting actually on this link. Okay, we also will have history, if I'm not mistaken, yes, history, and then birth to kindergarten will also be concurrent sessions going on today. So please download the guidebook. Be a Bronco. If you see that far right picture, be a Bronco. I need you to click on that, be a Bronco. I need you to apply today, right? Now for the 10K program, don't forget you have to complete the intent form. All right. With the intent form, it allows us again to put you on our radar. Okay. And it allows us to stay in contact with you. And don't forget on the intent form, it will allow us to, you can choose 2024 because you may have just started, or 2025. Again, we'll still be able to connect with you and make sure we keep you on track with your application process when the appropriate term arrives, and then also with any updates or events. Again, we are streaming today on YouTube, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are streaming to YouTube today, and we are streaming to our Facebook Live, okay? So you can get all the information, okay? Now, if Mr. James, he can put that next screen up to show that where we are streaming to YouTube, all right? We'll make sure that we can have the link there for that. And then also, he'll also show our Facebook so you can know exactly. So this is our page. Please subscribe to our YouTube, okay? And then also we can please go to the next one. We'll show you that where we are on Facebook, that you can follow us even after today. Please follow us because we're constantly putting videos up. We're having information sessions. We're giving tutorials on different tools that we may use on Facebook. So again, there's so many different things that we offer, and this is where we're streaming at today. So our next session, we're actually going to go ahead and start promptly at 12:30. But we wanted to make sure you know that this is the virtual 10K day here at Fayetteville State University. Man, we received so much information already for our students from different online degree programs. You've heard from business today on this link. You already heard from criminal justice today on this link. So other programs you heard for our fire and services, fire and emergency services. You've heard from them. You've heard from our English department. You've heard from our psychology department. You've heard from intelligence studies. And you also heard from our sociology and political science. So again, like I said, on this link, you'll be talking to our nursing promptly at 12:30. So our session will be starting very shortly. We'll be starting shortly at 12:30. We'll be able to meet with Mr. Cynthia Williams. And again, we're just excited. Again, I'm excited. I'm an excited person, especially when I talk about my alma mater and all the things that Fayetteville State University offers. Okay. So again, if you have any questions during any of these sessions, please put them in the Q&A or put them in the chat room. We want to answer those questions. If we can answer those verbally for you, we can, or we'll type and answer those for you. So again, we're excited. We have a couple more minutes before our next session start, as you can see, and we'll be with you very, very shortly, promptly at 12:30 for our session beginning for nursing program, okay? And specifically our RN to BSN, all right? So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Hello, I'm back. That was a quick little break. But again, my name is Dante Wise. I'm Senior Assistant Director of Admissions here at Fayetteville State University. And this is our virtual 10K day. We're excited to give you more information about the online degree completion programs that we offer here and how they're eligible for our $10,000 degree pathway program at Fayetteville State University with our local North Carolina community colleges partnerships that we do have. Okay, so I'm going to invite Mr. Cynthia Williams to the room. And as she's coming in, she's going to go ahead and get her screen ready and everything as far as sharing her information. But don't forget, this is our 10K day. Please check in through your guidebook. Please make sure that you become a Bronco. You can apply today as well. All right. And then again, you're going to receive so much information today with our nursing program. Hey, Mr. Santa, how you doing? Yeah, she's going to get some great information. And again, don't forget to put your questions, comments, whatever those may be. You can put them in the chat room, okay? You can put them in the Q&A, excuse me. And then with that, we will respond. We'll either type or we'll respond verbally to you so we can make sure we can address those questions. We don't want you to leave this session today before it ends. We don't want you to leave with any questions at all. We want you to make sure you receive everything, okay? So again, like I said, we're going to get started. I'm going to get out the way. So our bomb diggity nursing program, yes, I said bomb. That's an old word. They don't say bomb diggity no more, Miss Williams. But again, she's going to explain so much that's going on with our RN to BSN program online. Take it away, Miss Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. So hello, everybody. I am Jacinta Williams, and I am one of 3 of the academic advisors with the School of Nursing, but I work solely and primarily with our online RN to BSN students. So I work with all of the students coming in from an ADM program, and they want to complete with a bridge program and earn their bachelor's degree. And of course, that is what we offer with our online, fully online RN to BSN program, which of course is a part of the 10K program. So I always just start with 3 main points of the program, and I'm going to present that information. I'm not going to do a PowerPoint, just kind of have a little conversation. And then please, if you have questions, put them in the chat, put them in the Q&A. And I'm going to try to answer them as best I can. And hopefully time allots for me to get to each and every one of your questions. So first question, how long is the program? So you come into our RN to BSN program. We have a full-time and a part-time enrollment option. So all of our classes are 8 weeks. And if you go full-time, it's 2.5 semesters. And if you go part-time, it is 5 semesters. A full-time enrollment from start to finish, that program can be done in 14 months. And a part-time enrollment from start to finish can be completed in 2 years, 2 months. And within that, so if you're going full-time, you'll take 2 8-week classes within each 8-week session. So you'll still have your traditional full-time schedule of 4 classes that you're used to, but you're only managing 2 classes at a time. And the beauty of that is that it allows you to manage your own time for the schedule, since I would say 90% of our students in the RN to BSN program work full-time. And so all of our students have always raved that they have never had an issue managing being a full-time student as well as working full-time in their respective hospitals or agencies, nursing homes or whatnot, as well as if you have outside families and churches and all different kinds of things we get into when we're not in school and not at work. And the two of them have always just melded beautifully together. Part-time, we also offer that as well, because not everyone wants to come in blazing. So if you want to go part-time, then you would take 1 class each 8-week session, and you would have 5 semesters. And like I said, that would take about 2 years, 2 months. Now with our program, I also like to mention that it is very flexible. It is self-paced. So let's say you come in your first semester and you want to go full-time, and you get into your second semester, your work changes, something changes, and you need a bit more flexibility in your schedule. You have the option to go part-time. We do not lock students in. If you decide to switch while you're in the program, that is perfectly fine. I, as your advisor, would just keep track of your classes to make sure that you stay on track towards your graduation goal. And so the exact opposite, let's say you start the program part-time, and then you kind of get your feet wet a little bit, kind of navigate the online classes if you haven't had online classes before, and you get more comfortable and decide, I think I can do full-time. You can switch right into full-time. We'll just rearrange your classes and you continue on that way. Along with the self-pace, our program is not one where students have to be enrolled in their classes or logged into their classes at a particular time during a particular day. So for instance, on Thursday at 7, everyone has to be logged in for their discussion board. That is not how our program is set up. It is self-paced, it's for adult learners. So each week you will know exactly what you have for each class, and that is on your schedule how to complete it. Most of our classes work from a Monday to Saturday deadline. And so there would never be an expectation that you have to be logged in, so that you have to rearrange everything else within your life to fit with school. You essentially are able to work school around everything else in your life, which just makes it that much more manageable. So let's go into admission. So we admit students twice a year. Every fall and spring, we have a new cohort that will start the program. And you would go through your standard application process with the university. And then once admitted to the university, you'll get kind of shifted over to me as your academic advisor. And we go through your information, we go through your transcripts, you look at your non-nursing classes if you need any, and then you'll kind of proceed on to your next steps with the program. Now, in referencing the non-nursing classes, so I would go through your transcripts. I go through everyone's transcripts that comes to the program and look for any classes you might need other than the nursing classes. If you did need any non-nursing courses, that is perfectly fine. You can take them while you're in the program. We offer those classes online. So if you needed, for instance, a college algebra, a microbiology, English composition, or humanities, all those courses are offered online through Fayetteville State. And the non-nursing classes, any classes you have taken prior, they do not expire. So it doesn't matter if your anatomy was from 5 years ago, if it was from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it is fine for our program. It counts and it transfers in as credit. And those non-nursing courses, we do not have a requirement that they have to be done prior to you starting your nursing classes. So you can take and weave those non-nursing classes within your nursing classes. So everything just as before, it is still self-paced, it is still flexible, it's still on your time, how you want to work those classes in. The only requirement, of course, is that you have them done prior to graduation. And then let's talk a little bit about cost, because everyone wants to know. So with the RN to BSN program, of course, is going to be weaved in with your 10K program. So you know that it is not going to be more than the $10,000 that is allotted with the program. And it is just, every student has come through the program, has just said it's just very economical, it is very affordable. A secondary point to mention as far as the costs that are weaved into the program, I like to always mention that with Fayetteville State, we are on a book rental program. So I'm sure most students are accustomed to having to pay out of pocket for their books. And as we all know, books can cost quite a bit of money. So with Fayetteville State's book rental program, based off your full-time or part-time enrollment, you are assessed just a flat fee, and that fee covers your books for the semester. And essentially, you pick up your books or have your books sent to you at the beginning of the semester, and at the end of the semester, you turn those books right back in. So there will never be essentially a direct out-of-pocket cost for your books, which is always an excellent perk to mention with Fayetteville State. And let me to my little cheat sheet here. And the last point I want to kind of reiterate is with the program being online, kind of a special part of our program is that even though it is online, our faculty, of course, are on campus. And during any normal times, with the exception of kind of the current climate of where we are, where everyone is virtual, you would have access to your full-time faculty and some adjuncts, depending on what their schedules are and if they're on campus. So for instance, if you're in a course and you have a question about an assignment, you can make an appointment to come and meet with your faculty member, which you don't typically get with a fully online program. And with ours, our faculty are here. A lot of our faculty members have gone through RN to BSN programs, which you would do so as well. And so they understand the challenges that can be presented with a student going through a program, working full time and having outside interests kind of coming into play as well as far as your time. They're more than welcome and always open and have an open door to working with students, to helping students. And they essentially, at the end of the day, with faculty, with the staff and myself, our ultimate goal is to get you to the end and for you to earn your BSN. And then hopefully you might want to continue into a master's program, which we offer as well, which would be a great segue to any student that wants to continue their education beyond the bachelor's level. So that's my information to present to you, because I don't want to just talk at you too much. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or put them in the Q&A, and I'd love to answer them for you.
All right, so I have a question, and thank you for presenting and making that very organic versus, a PowerPoint, if you will. So what kind of instrumentation, after, you're not a pre-nursing student, you're actually an RN student at this point, what kind of instrumentation or equipment or tools would the student have access to or train on if that's the case?
So even though students are online, you will have access, first and foremost, you have access to the library. Any resources that an on-campus student or a non-online student would have, you have access to all resources for the library, which is excellent when it comes to research papers and whatnot. The librarians could not be nicer in the library. They tell us all the time, please tell your students, if you're trying to find a journal article for a paper, please have them contact us. They have always been more than welcome to help students to figure out and navigate the system. So there's tons and tons of resources that are accessible to you without having to be on campus. There's a writing lab on campus that you can actually send your papers through. They will review them. They can help you go through them, which has been an excellent resource. I know a student within the program with nursing research, she utilized the writing lab and raved and just had nothing but good things to say, and ended up, of course, getting an A in nursing research. And she said she doesn't know if she would have been able to do that without the help of the writing lab.
I think that's awesome, even in this climate in general, but definitely with this being an RN to BSN program online, that students still can have at their fingertips, if you will, the resources to make sure that they're still successful and not just submitting work and so on and so forth. So I think that's awesome. So thank you for sharing that. Now, you always get that question. You always get the question that may have been addressed during the PowerPoint, but so how does how does this work? Like if I need some actual practical training in a facility, being that I'm online, like how does this work from an RN to BSN program? And I may have missed it, Ms. Williams, during your presentation, but how does that work? How can I get clinical hours if I still need those?
So, excellent question. So we have two classes within the program. One is a community health course, which is like your clinical course, and one is the capstone course, and that course institutes shadowing hours for that course. Typically, students would, for the community health course, they would select an area and they have to complete 32 hours within that course, whether that's a health department, a doctor's office, food banks, whatnot. However, we have a virtual option, and that is not just because of the current climate we're in. That's an option that we have offered the last 4 to 5 semesters. So if you want to go on into a facility and complete your hours when we can again, you're free to do so. But we also offer that virtual option where students can complete their hours virtually. So you do not have that requirement that you have to go outside of your standard online learning experience that you're used to with the program to complete a clinical course. And same with your capstone course, we offer virtual as well. So within those two courses, that's been a huge motivator and a bonus for students to go through the RN to BSN program to still be able to complete those clinical courses, but not have to go to an actual facility.
So that's awesome. So I don't have to travel to Fayetteville. Possibly I could do it virtually, or I could have a qualifying, if you will, facility that will allow me to get my clinical hours in a sense.
Exactly. So we always tell students, within the program, we would love to see your face when we can, and you want to come and sit down and meet with us, but you never have to come to campus if you don't ever want to come to campus, because a lot of our students are not local. We do have students that are all over the state. We have students that are in South Carolina, Virginia. We have some military spouses who are in Tokyo and Germany, and they're completing the program online as well.
Wow, that's also, it's safe to say that the RN to BSN program at Fayetteville State is worldwide.
I would say so.
That's good. So that's good that we can stretch to so many different places. And not, like you said, not because of the climate that we're in, because of the pandemic, but something that we've been doing, and that Fayetteville State's nursing program has already thought out, if you will,
right,
how to make sure students are successful with this RN to BSN program. So I think that's really, really, really awesome. So, after I received my my BSN from Fayetteville State University, I'm eligible for the 10K program. I get admitted to Fayetteville State because I do application. Of course, there's a separate application process with you all to get into the program. Is that very competitive, that RN to BSN, like trying to apply into the upper division and actually being admitted?
So no, the RN to BSN program, if anyone's familiar with the nursing program, it is very different from your typical pre-licensure program. When you're applying to the RN to BSN program, your admission to the university, that's first and foremost. Admission to us is secondary. Essentially, admission with us is just me going through your transcripts to see what non-nursing classes you have. Like I said before, those classes can be taken while you're in the program. We have growing enrollment. Since I've been here, I've been an advisor with the program almost 10 years. And we've had exceptional growth within the program. But even with that growth, we essentially do not have a cap. So if you apply to our program, you're not going to run to an issue where there's a wait list, or let's see, we might be able to get you in for the next semester. As long as you meet the university requirements for admission, essentially you have admission guaranteed for the RN to BSN program.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Thank you for answering my question, Ms. Williams, because sometimes you may have to wait, and sometimes you don't want to wait. So it's good that the access is easy, if you will, after we get admitted through the Office of Admissions. So that is awesome. Okay. So now I know we're talking about online and specifically the 10K program and RN to BSN, but that begs a question for me. Is there anything I can go do further after I receive, because I'm coming to Fayetteville State, Ms. Williams, okay? I'm coming to the RN to BSN program. I'm doing the 10K program. I'm going to graduate. Is there anything I can do further after I receive my BSN at Fayetteville State University?
Yes. We want all of our students, once they earn their BSN, to apply to our new master's program with nursing. It is a program that focuses on patient safety and quality, which in this climate is spot on. And we are now, this spring semester will be our second semester with our master's program. We're super excited about it. We had great enrollment for the fall semester with continued application and enrollment for the spring semester. So we have actually had a good number of RN to BSNs who graduated spring, and they came right into the program for the fall. So it would be an excellent segue to get your BSN and then just keep on going. Don't take a break and get your master's.
Awesome. So I get a great RN to BSN program degree here, and I can also do that online to do the MSN program. That's what I'm hearing, correct?
There you go. Yep.
Awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like your MSN program is the only MSN program in that concentration in the state of North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken?
We are the only one with a concentration of patient safety and quality. So if you want a degree within that area, which of course within this climate we're in is perfection, you have to come to us.
So that's so Fayetteville State, they're just so unique, right? And I'm saying that to you all. I'm being honest. We're very unique because of this 10K program, which sets us apart because why? You get a bachelor's degree, that's quality degree, for under $10,000 online, which you don't find these days. As I said earlier, as we opened up, a bachelor's degree, whether you have an associate's or not, can cost minimum maybe $20,000 to get one online. So we want to create that pathway so you get a unique program with Fayetteville State, okay? Quality programs, and on top of that, a program that's only offered in the state of North Carolina here at Fayetteville State University. And so I'm not saying the MSN is included in the 10,000. Oh my God, that would be great, right?
Right.
But it's a great segue, as you stated, to get your bachelor's degree and then move on and get your MSN, which I think is totally, totally awesome. So we do have a question I want to ask out loud. What is the process if I don't have all the classes needed to start the RN to BSN program?
Perfect question. So I do the transcript evaluations for all of our applicants. So I'm the person that will go through your transcripts. The registrar's office, of course, they have their hand in entering all of your classes. I'll go through it for our curriculum. If there are any non-nursing classes, so if you need a sociology or a humanities course, you do not have to have those classes completed prior to starting the program. You can take those classes while you're in the program. How you want to fit those in, totally up to you. Some students decide they want to have all of their non-nursing classes done prior to starting nursing, so you can do that. Some students take them while they're in the program along with their nursing classes and just kind of piece them in. And then we have some students who take all their 10 nursing classes and then they take their non-nursing classes at the very end. We don't have a policy for you to have to do them either way. It is totally up to you.
Awesome. So again, it's great that you're explaining the flexibility that Fayetteville State has, and they're also getting the quality education that they need. Again, you can't beat it for under $10,000. I think that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
with all that, I've been saying you get more bang for your buck. You're definitely getting quality. Is there anything that you can share with us about where currently, right now, Fayetteville State University nursing program, including the whole entire School of Nursing, whether online or on main campus, how they rank in the state and possibly in the country?
So our nursing program with RN to BSN, RN to BSN program has been here since 1992. And so it is just a well-oiled machine. The RN to BSN program continues to just increase their enrollment. Our students have gone on to earn their master's degrees. We have lots of students who have gone on to nurse practitioner programs. We have students who have gone on to PhD programs to be nurse educators. So literally the sky is the limit of what you want to do as far as with the RN to BSN program. It is highly regarded within the state. Everyone knows about Fayetteville State's RN to BSN program and what an excellent choice it is. We do have our pre-licensure students, our on-campus students who do not have any prior licensure compared to a student coming into the RN to BSN program. Those students are exceptional as well. Our students finish with that program with 100% employment. Our students graduate. They're not graduating and then looking for a job. Our students have jobs before they graduate and they know where they're going. When we are at the end of the semester, each semester with graduation and going through bios or whatnot, for every student, we're naming off what hospital they're going to work in. And that's always just really exciting. So that's just a layer of stress that you don't have to have for students that are going through that program, not having to wonder, well, I have this degree and now what? And so those students they have gone on to get master's degrees. A lot of our students have gone on to get nurse practitioner degrees. We have military students that finish the program as well as RN to BSN, who finish as commissioned officers. So our students really just leave the program really prepared for whatever it is they want to do. If they want to continue to be a higher level nurse, if they want to be a nurse educator. We actually have students that finish our RN to BSN program who are now instructors in the program. So they have a unique experience to share with students because they can literally say, I've been sitting where you are and here I am now. So literally the sky is the limit for what you want to do after earning your BSN.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So we do have two more questions. The first question was, is there an MSN to NP option here at Fayetteville State University, or is there a BSN to NP option or track?
So with our program, we're super excited to offer our MSN program, again, with the focus of patient safety and quality. At this time, we don't offer a nurse practitioner program yet. Of course, that is something that we have our eyes set on, and very hopeful to have that for the future, just to continue to offer more options for students beyond the bachelor's level.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question was, is there a seamless program at FSU that transitions our RN to BSN to the MSN program?
So with students who are going through the RN to BSN program and they know they want to pursue our MSN program. So a perfect example, we had a student, one of my advisees, who finished the RN to BSN program in the spring semester, and she knew she wanted to pursue the MSN program. So she went on ahead and started the application process. And so you don't have to, there's not a lag. You don't have to graduate, get your BSN, wait, then apply for the MSN. You can apply for the MSN program while you're finishing the BSN program here. So this particular student, while she was in her last semester of the BSN program, started the application process for the MSN program, was admitted, and she is now in her first semester of the MSN program now. So you can seamlessly go from the BSN program right into the MSN program.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that question. And now we have Another question, a student says, I have an MBA and an undergrad in psychology. I will be an RN hopefully next year from a junior college. Will my credits transfer? And then the next question after that is, because I have an MBA, will it make the master's program in nursing shorter?
So to answer your first question, we go through all of your transcripts for courses, and courses, as far as your transfer classes, do not expire, and it doesn't matter what program they were in. So if you have classes that you took in your MBA program that fit and equate to the courses that we require in our curriculum, then you would get credit for those, because we never want students, we always go through your transcripts very thoroughly to make sure that students only take the non-nursing classes that they need for our program. So yes, those courses, because I'm sure with an MBA program, you would have had, there would be some courses you would have had that would work towards the curriculum in addition to the classes that you're going in and taking for junior college. In reference to the master's program, so the master's program, the curriculum, much like the RN to BSN programs, the set number of courses, nursing courses that you're going to take for that program. Now, any non-nursing type courses for the master's program, you wouldn't have any of those because you would have completed any needed non-nursing courses while you were in the RN to BSN. So essentially, if you're planning to go into the MSN program, while you're finishing the RN to BSN program, you're not going to have any prerequisite courses that you would need to take for the MSN program. You would just have the master nursing courses.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that question. So, definitely with Fayetteville State University, all that they offer with our online degree completion programs, nursing, that RN to BSN piece, I think is very, very important, very critical for students to understand, especially that point we talked about the jobs, right? Jobs, not necessarily job security, but job opportunity, career opportunities. And if I'm not mistaken, as a whole, I think right now we currently have 100% job placement. And I think that's important for students to know. And you said you hit the nail on the head. You stated they have jobs before they graduate. Like they already know exactly where they're going to be and where they're going to be placed. And that shows how lucrative that field is. And one thing I used to say my previous in my previous years of experience in higher education, one thing about the medical field is not going anywhere. Everyone is needed. And for us to be the type of institution and have a program that is stellar, right? Have high prestige that companies, hospitals, facilities, they're knocking down our door to get our students. And I think that's very, very important. And I'm probably saying that lightly, but I can imagine that a door is being knocked down. Where are your students? Are they graduated yet? Is this semester over yet? Are they done? Like, can they hurry up? Can they take the NCLEX? Can they hurry up? Right. And I think that's so important for students to know about our RN to BSN program with that placement of 100%, that you already, with being a great student and graduating, you will already have a job waiting for you, because people are eager to hire Fayetteville State University's School of Nursing students. And I think that's very, very important. Now, the question that I have when it comes to preparing for the NCLEX, how vigorous, if you will, is that training or preparation, if you will, to make sure those students can maintain the high average that we maintain throughout the years? How vigorous is that preparation?
So with the NCLEX, the RN to BSNs, they'll have taken their NCLEX. So they'll come into the program licensed and ready to go. For a student that's going through the pre-licensure program, although it's our traditional on-campus program, students are essentially preparing for the NCLEX from day one. The requirements and the materials and the topics or whatnot that are tested on NCLEX are built into the curriculum. So as their first class within the program, they're already preparing for the NCLEX by virtue of them being in their nursing classes. As they get closer and closer to the end, students start to have more structured preparation. So we have outside companies that come in, we work with them. They have all types, they test. And then when they're tired of testing, they test. They have multiple choice questions coming out of their ears. So by the time our students get to the point of testing for the NCLEX, as long as they have done what we have laid out for them to do, our students are successful.
Awesome. So thank you for answering that. And you know, I ask questions because you know you may have that student that heard about our RN to BSN program, and they might not have finished their RN, but that's their plan, right?
Right.
And they may have heard the term NCLEX and thinking, okay, I got to take the NCLEX after I get my bachelor's. So again, I'm glad that you were able to bring that out. That again, you pretty much as an RN, you should have already taken your NCLEX already. Now we do have a student that has a question that joined possibly the session late, but they wanted to ask, how long is our RN to BSN program?
So our RN to BSN program is, we have full-time and part-time enrollment. So all of our classes are 8 weeks. There are 10 nursing classes within the program. So if a student is enrolled full-time, they'll have 2.5 semesters of coursework and they'll be finished in 14 months. If you're going part-time, then you're going to take 1 8-week class each session. It's 5 semesters and you'll finish the program in 2 years, 2 months. And for students that start the program, if you start the program in spring, which is January, and you go straight through spring semester, summer, and fall, you technically can finish the program in 1 calendar year. And we have a lot of students that come in for the spring semester. So if you're looking to apply now, go ahead and apply now. And if you go full-time, then you would be finished this program and have your bachelor's degree by December of 21.
Awesome. And I hope that answered that young lady's question. Again, and that just seems pretty fast. Now I'm thinking about, you said like 1 calendar year? Possibly?
1 calendar year, students would take 4 classes in the spring semester starting in January. They would take 2 classes in the summer and then take their final 4 classes in the fall semester.
Wow. So, you know, you think about it, even though with the 10K program, we're giving you 3 calendar years to finish your degree, you possibly can finish your RN to BSN bachelor's degree within a year.
And we have a lot of students that go through it. It seems lightning fast, but really it's not. It's the way the classes are paced. You're never taking more than 2 classes at a time. Oh, so even though you're taking 4 classes in a semester, you're only managing 2 at a time, which is really awesome, honestly, for students to be able to manage coursework and work as well. So we do have quite a few students who come in. I've already had students applying now, asking, well, if I take classes in the summer, do you offer classes in the summer? Yes, we do. And you can finish your degree in a year.
Man, that's awesome, because you think about the 4 classes, you know, and you're thinking, man, that may be a lot for me, working adult, RN to BSN online, but you all are so considerate to making sure that we understand you are working adults most likely, and that you can still get it within a year. I think that's awesome.
I know.
I might have to go back to school, change my major, go and start that nursing program. But definitely a lucrative field. And for those who are still watching, we thank you. And again, this was our nursing session talking specifically about our RN to BSN online for our 10K degree pathway program. And again, you know, as we have a couple of minutes before we end, if you have any questions, you can definitely place those in the Q&A, and we'll make sure we answer those verbally for you since we're at that point, or we may type the answer as well. But we want to make sure that everything is addressed. Mr. Center has been so great with providing more information and being very elaborate in what the RN to BSN program entails. And I think it's something to look forward to for our nursing students. It's really a great field. And for me in admissions, that's one of the programs that we get a lot of questions about is our nursing program, because as you stated, they hear about the rankings, they hear about how great the program is. And now they have an opportunity to actually speak to someone such as yourself, who's very knowledgeable of the field. Like you said, you've been working with us for about 10 years now, almost. Now, how long have you been in the industry, if you will, of working for nursing or advocating for nursing field?
When I started here at Fayetteville State, February 2011 as the advisor at the time for our on-campus pre-licensure students. And I've been working with RN to BSN students at this point, probably the last 5 to 7 years. I've been working primarily and solely with our RN to BSN students.
So it's safe to say that you are an expert. You're very good at what you do.
I can answer most, if not all, questions. Rarely have I gotten stumped.
You're being modest. I've worked with you before, and you're very, very knowledgeable of the field. And I think that's important. And what we want you to know out there that are watching and viewing, we want you to know that this interaction you see is genuine. Like there is a genuine interaction between faculty, staff, everyone at Fayetteville State's campus, to include our students who are very, very important to us. So the good thing that you get with Fayetteville State University, you get a faculty that care. You get administration, you get staff that really care about you. And we want to see you not just come here, but we want to see you go far. And I think that's very, very important. And what Mr. Jacinta Williams and that whole School of Nursing, that whole department, what they do, they provide you the tools you need to become a great nurse, but not even just those tools to become a great nurse, but to impact your community, to impact your industry, if you will, so you can be a great citizen as well. I think that's what's very, very important, not just teaching you the skills of a nurse, but teaching you life skills as well to help you to survive and to excel in your career field. So I think that's very, very important. And I greatly appreciate that, Ms. Williams, and the information that you have provided. So it looks like we may not have any more questions in the chat. Let me see. Oh, we do have a question. Is it possible, thank you for bringing it to my attention, is it possible to complete another major while doing the RN to BSN program, example, healthcare management?
Actually, yes. We've had a few students actually have gone to RN to BSN program, and they have done healthcare. We've had some students do psychology online, and it's totally doable. It's just a matter of how you want to kind of piece those courses together. One student finished nursing, then she started the courses in the other program. Another student blended the two and graduated with a dual degree. So it is completely doable.
And, as I say, before we leave, I typically tell students this when I'm on the road, especially, talking to the prospective freshman students, in this day and time, the more degrees you get, the better. It helps you to, get the job. And my saying is very cheesy, okay, but it's so true that your diploma is made out of a piece of paper, right? Mm-hmm. And ultimately, no matter what your career field is, you want to make the paper, right? So I always tell people, get that paper to get that paper. And if you can, I think that was a great question from that student. If you can, make sure you get as many degrees as you can, especially with us, right? That RN to BSN onto that MSN. Why not get it? You're right here, right? Again, the only MSN program in North Carolina with that concentration of patient safety and quality. Why not get that here at Fayetteville State University? We have time for one more question. Are high school transcripts considered for incoming freshmen that want to apply to the nursing program? So I'm pretty sure we can agree. Go ahead and answer that question.
So if you, while in high school, if you took courses while you were maybe dually enrolled at a community college, if you took an English course or math course, then yes, those courses are transferable to Fayetteville State for credit.
Right. So please make sure we get that high school transcript. And from an admission standpoint, we definitely need that transcript. If you're a freshman and you want to apply to the nursing program and start with that pre-nursing all the way up into your BSN, we need that to evaluate whether or not you meet the requirements for Fayetteville State University. Now, if that person, I'm not sure if you're a senior, if you are a senior, right now we are test waiver. Just want to give that information. So it's not required in a sense to have your test scores, but we do need your official high school transcript to make that decision. Okay. So Ms. Williams, with your expertise and everything, I like how you had your organic presentation. You spoke with the students. I greatly appreciate you being on with us today and providing that information. We greatly appreciate you. I know I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks at Richmond Community College, another partner school for 10K, talking about nursing programs. So shout out to Richmond Community College. But again, thank you for your time.
Welcome.
And we appreciate you and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Awesome. So for those who are just tuning in, we just ended our nursing session, okay? And we're getting ready to start at 1:15, a very, very important session, which will consist of our financial aid and student accounts, right? We want to talk about how can we finance your Bronco education in a sense. I'm sorry, Ms. Bowles, I stole it. How can you finance your Bronco education with the 10K program? And they'll give you that information here shortly promptly at 1:15. But don't forget, download the guidebook, okay? We have one more session today at 1:15, which will be on this link right here. So if you've already logged in and you're ready to go, we'll be starting shortly. But again, don't forget to make sure you download this guidebook, okay? You see the link at the top. Yes, I like that. I like how you got the cursor right there. Thank you, Mr. James. That's what link you can use. And then, of course, from left to right, You'll be able to see how you actually can download the guidebook, whether it's in the App Store or the Play Store, right? And then on top of that, as you can see on the far right picture, we want you to be able to, follow us on YouTube and subscribe actually, and then follow us on Facebook, where we're actually streaming live today with our sessions. Now, other sessions, they've been recorded, so we'll make sure that those are made available to you. But we want you to apply today. Okay, we want you to apply and make sure that we can get your application on file. And don't forget, if you've just tuning in, you have to complete the intent form for 10K, so we know that you want to be a part of the program and you're expressing interest to see the requirements, okay? And then for that, you can also reach out as far as 2024, 2025 on that form, that intent form, to determine which term you'll be coming, because you may not be ready to graduate right now. You may have just started at a community college. So please make sure you complete that intent form, so we can make sure we can keep you on the radar and continually communicate with you with our program and application once that term that you want to come, once that term approaches, okay? So again, don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube page, okay? When subscribing to our YouTube page, you get to see all of our videos. You get to see this session as well, even after we're done recording live today. And then you also can follow us on our Facebook, okay? Please follow us on Facebook. We're live, we're streaming live in there. I said stream live, and we're streaming live there. Got a little tongue tied there. But again, we are streaming, and we want you to know that the 10K program is available to our transfer students out there for those North Carolina community colleges. So we have roughly about 2 minutes before we get started, and our session will start. Again, it will start very shortly. In 2 minutes, we'll have our people from our colleagues from financial aid and student accounts. They'll be joining us. So we'll see you in the next couple of minutes. Don't forget, download that guidebook. 10K program, Fayetteville State. This is the 10K day. Man, Fayetteville State is your only choice. See you next couple of minutes, okay? Well, that was a quick break. Well, we're back, of course. Again, we'll get started. I want to introduce myself. My name is Dante Wise. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions Transfer Coordinator here at Fayetteville State University, and we welcome you again to our virtual 10K day. All right, we're excited that you've joined us to get the information about the online degree programs, and most importantly, how does this 10K thing work, right? What's the breakdown? How would a financial aid work? What are my next steps? Do I complete FAFSA? How's the breakdown? Student accounts, like how does that work, right? So our next session today at 1:15, which we're starting now, will be discussing how that works with financial aid and student accounts. So they're going to get ready to join the party for us. I think we have Ms. Obi, Ms. Stevens, and Ms. Carr. They're going to go ahead and turn their cameras on. Ms. Carr, I think if I'm not mistaken, she's going to share her screen. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Good to see you. And again, we're going to get started. But again, don't forget, download the guidebook if you haven't already, okay? We're not going to put that screen up. I want you to hear me say it. Download the guidebook so you can keep track of everything that has happened today. And then also, we're streaming live to YouTube and Facebook. So we'll put these videos back up again after the recorded session today. And so you can have access to that. And don't forget, again, to download the guidebook. Are we ready to go, Ms. Carr?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everybody.
Awesome. So I'm gonna get out your way, you all. Again, you're in the hands of Miss Carr and Miss Obi.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. My name is Miss Carr, as Mr. Wise had stated. I am a financial aid advisor in the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid. My duties are state grants as well as scholarship coordinator. So we're going to get started. Who are we? The Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid is designed to assist students in pursuing post-secondary education. Financial aid administrators assess student financial needs and award financial aid based on regulations provided by the U.S. Department of Education, which is determined, of course, by your FAFSA information, state and university guidelines. Our steps for processing are: you must apply for your FAFSA at the FAFSA website, which we'll go over that a little bit later. Once you've completed your application, we'll receive it into our system. If you are selected for verification, that process must be completed before we can offer you an award. If you are not selected, you'll receive an award. Once you receive an award, you will need to log into your Banner self-service account to review that award and accept your terms and conditions. After that, accounts will pay. So in order to receive financial aid, students, if you are a dependent student, your parent as well, need to complete the free application for federal student aid. Before you're completing that, we advise that you go onto the website listed under number 1 to complete a FSA username and password for the student and the parent. If you are a dependent student, your parent will need to create one as well to sign that FAFSA application. Our FAFSA timeframes are for the 2020-2021 academic aid year. Begins with July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. So for our next year, which is 2021 through 2022, all these 20s, will begin July 1st, 2021 through June 30th of 2022. Please create your FSA username and password. When you do that, make it something that you're going to remember. Even if you don't remember, save it. Write it down, memo it in your phone. So because you're may need to go back in to make corrections or even update, or even for the following year, you may need to log back into your FAFSA application because it is required each year, and you're going to need that login information. Once a FAFSA is submitted, the Department of Education processes the application, and they will determine if a student is selected for verification or not. If the application is not selected for verification, the student moves on to the awarding phase. If the application is selected for verification, you must submit all required documentation before an award can be offered. Students who are not selected and those who have completed the verification process will be awarded the aid that they are eligible to receive. Speaking of that, there are 2 forms of financial aid that students can receive. There's free money, and then there's a loan, which is not free money, it's an actual loan that has to be repaid. The free money will consist of your federal Pell Grant, federal SEOG grant, federal work study, your state grant, if you are a North Carolina resident, our institutional funds, which consist of our Bronco, City, and CITHOW, which if you're staying on campus, there's a city housing grant, and scholarships. We have our federal loans. We have the federal direct subsidized loan, which does not accrue interest while you're in school. The government pays that interest for you. Federal direct unsubsidized loans, it accrues interest while you're in school. Sometimes students may not have enough aid to cover their charges, so there is an option of a Parent Plus loan if you are a dependent student. The loan amounts will vary based on your classification and, of course, your what is called our expected family contribution, which we'll go into in a few. And please note that you must be enrolled at least half-time in order to receive your federal loans, which is 6 credit hours for undergraduate students as well as graduate students, because we don't have the 0.5 credit hours. Scholarship opportunities. Review our website for a list of scholarship opportunities. Did I skip a page? Okay, scholarship opportunities are available now. Our general scholarship application is available now. The deadline is April 30th. So I encourage you to go out and apply now. This way it gives your references time to get their letters of recommendation in. And if there's any errors or any issues that arise with that, you have time to notify myself so that we can resend those recommendation forms or use our backup plan. We also have listed our top 5 scholarship websites, scholarships.com, College Board, FastWeb, CollegeNet, Scholarship Monkey. There's also our state website, cfnc.org, which offers scholarships as well. So please make sure you visit those websites and apply to as many scholarships as possible. It doesn't matter whether it's a small portion, we encourage you to apply for as many of the smaller portions as possible because they do add up to a great amount. Because sometimes you may not always receive the larger amounts, but those smaller amounts really add up to be a great help in your pursuing your education. Once awarded, students will receive their financial aid award package. You can also view your award by logging into your self-service banner. All grants and scholarships are automatically accepted on your behalf, so they're awarded to you. However, each student must review the conditions and the terms before their financial aid will pay to your account. You can review your terms and conditions by logging into your self-service banner, clicking on financial aid, and then there's tabs at the top of those screens. You will need to go to the terms and conditions one first to accept that. That is just technically the second page of your financial aid award letter that we used to mail out, but no longer do a mail. So make sure you do that, else your aid will never pay to your account. So if you are eligible for loans, once you complete your terms and conditions, you will need to log in, click on that tab to accept your award and accept, decline, or adjust your loan amounts. So some people may not want to use their loans, you can decline them. If you do, some may not need the full amount, so they can adjust them. So you do have options over there for your loans once you go into your banner account. If you decide to accept your loans, you will need to complete the loan entrance counseling and sign the master promissory note on studentloans.gov if you are a first-time loan borrower at Fayetteville State. Please note as well, first-time loan borrowers, your loans will not pay out for 30 days of the date of the semester beginning. Accounts pay. So here are some examples of what your awards could reflect. Student A has a financial aid award amount totaling $13,500, but their amount due based off of their charges is $15,000. So that means they have a remaining balance due of $1,500. So if you're a dependent student, that's where this Parent Plus loan comes into play. We have a payment plan, which Ms. Obi will go over, and also private loans are an option if that's an option for you. Parent Plus loans are not available for independent students. So private loans or the payment plan may be an option for you, and also apply for all those scholarships as well. Student B has a award amount of $16,250. That's their total award packet, but their bill is only $15,000. So that means they have a credit of $1,250. So students who have that excess will receive that in a refund because they do not have a balance due. They don't owe the university any money. So let's speak about our satisfactory academic progress. So this is how your grades and completion of courses will affect your financial aid. The institution evaluates for satisfactory academic progress at the end of each spring, once a year. So this contains your GPA. Your grade point average must maintain a 2.0 GPA or 3.0 GPA for graduate students. You must progress at a rate of 67% passing rate. So you need to complete those classes successfully, C or better, B or better for graduate students. And we also have an excessive hours. You cannot exceed 150% of the length of your program of study. So that means get in there, complete your courses, and don't take extra courses that you don't need, because that will cause you to get to that excessive hours, and you guys will need to submit an academic appeal. So that's it for financial aid at this time. So I will hand it over to Ms. Obi so we can go a little bit further with our financial aid. Also, if you have questions, please put them in the chat box. My great coworkers are there to assist you in any way that we can. Also, if you need assistance in applying for your FAFSA, you haven't done so already, hopefully they'll share in the link as well where you can sign up. We do have FAFSA assistant days. We have 2 more coming up. So please sign up so we can assist you with completing your FAFSA. Ms. Obi.
Thank you, Ms. Carr. Hello, everybody. My name is Ms. Obi. I work in the Student Accounts Office. We are responsible to make sure that once you get registered, your charges are correct on your account. All right, let's get to it. So if you are with our 10K program, you want to forward that, Ms. Carr? Thank you. Your classes would be online. So an in-state resident, a 3-hour class would be $480.57. That's just for a 3-hour class. If you're registered full-time, 12 hours, you're looking at $1,700. Now, if you online hours are charged by the hours. So if you have more than 12 hours, your total is going to be more than $1,700. Now, what we do ask is we ask that you check your account online just to make sure that you're charged correctly. And if you have more than that 12 hours, or if you have that less than that 12 hours, we can check it to make sure everything is all right. All right, fixed tuition. This means that as long as you are enrolled continually, your tuition charges will not change. If you skip a term, which isn't recommended for the 10K program, if you skip a term, then it starts all over again. So fixed tuition is first-time degree-seeking students are eligible to keep the same tuition as they had the first year they came here. And summer sessions are not included. Okay. So when you look at your billing statement, you're going to see 2 things. You're going to see charges, you're going to see credits. Now, the charges you see will be the tuition and fees. And if you shouldn't have any insurance because you're an online student. Insurance is charged to students who have 6 or more main campus hours. So if you're just online, you should not see an insurance charge. And also, if you're online, you should not see room and board charges either. The payments you'll see. If you have financial aid, you'll see your financial aid. If you set up a payment plan, you would see that, any out-of-pocket payments, and any third-party payments. Now, as Ms. Carr was stating, if your aid exceeds your charges, there's a refund that's due to you. If your aid is less than your charges, then that means you owe a balance. All right, our payment deadline for the spring is February 3rd at 10 a.m. Please be sure to have all your financial aid done, have payments in there, set up with a payment plan. February 3rd is our deadline. Okay, so the payment plan. We use in-house payment plan. We call it Bronco Pay. There's a $45 enrollment fee. There is no interest. When you sign up for the payment plan, you would go in and it would show you your charges and your estimated aid. Once you agree to it, there's a down payment required. And then it would show you each month how much you would be due. If you want to start your plan, if you get registered now and you want to start your plan, the 5-month plan starts in December. We have 5-month plan, 4-month, and 3-month. Okay. So payment methods. Of course, we accept cash, cashier's check, and money orders. You can go to the cashiers with cash and cashier's check and money orders. The MasterCard and Visa, you have to pay online. We no longer accept Visa and MasterCard in the office. You need to pay that online. Third-party payments. Examples are Workforce, Voc Rehab. These are outside companies that send us a notice to say, hey, we're going to pay for this account. In that, I would receive that and send them a bill so we can get your account paid. Any VA students need to contact our VA office to be certified. If you're not certified through the VA, it's most likely that we won't get payment for your account. We also have, of course, the Bronco payment plan and financial aid. All right, Banner self-service. Banner self-service is great. It shows you so many things. You can look at your fees. You can look at any holds you have. You can look at your account status, whether your aid has paid. You can look, if you've added a class, you can make sure your charges are on there. It's great. Check your account daily. Also, I know that we send out emails. Everybody sends out emails, and you might have a lot of emails, but it's very important to read them. Okay. So important reminders, our FERPA, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. This means that we cannot talk to anybody else other than you unless you give us specific permission. So if your mom or your dad calls and says, I want to check their account, unless that form is signed, we can only give them general information. Complete RDS, that's the residency. The schools no longer determine if a student is in state or out of state. That is determined by North Carolina now. So make sure the residency form is completed, or you will be coded as an out-of-state student and pay those out-of-state charges. Okay, ensure your FAFSA is complete. Again, if you've been selected for verification, make sure you turn in all your paperwork. If your paperwork's not turned in, then you can't be awarded and your aid won't pay. Remember the payment deadline, February 3rd for the spring. If you have a third party, an outside source covering your account, make sure that you get that in. We would like it by the payment deadline. Earlier is better, but we would like it by the payment deadline. We have a link, it says complete your insurance waiver. Like I said before, if you are an online student, you should not have insurance. If you do have main campus classes, you would be charged if you have 6 hours or more. Enroll with TouchNet. TouchNet is where we go through to process refunds. So make sure you enroll with TouchNet to get all your information in. So if you do have a refund, then it'll be processed quickly. All right. Check your banner, your Bronco email daily. Even if you just look through it really quick, it's better to know what's going on with your account than wait till the end of the term and figure out, uh-oh, I owe a balance. So yeah, check your emails, check your balance, check everything. It takes a few minutes just to check it. That way you can figure out if something's wrong and give us a call or set up a booking appointment. Okay, looks like we're over. I do have a few frequently asked questions. One is the residency. Let's go back to the residency. That is done online. You have to do it online, fill out all the information. And once you are approved, that information is sent to the school so they can get you updated in the system. If you're coded as out of state, you've done all your information, RDS will send you a confirmation number. I forget I think it's an RCN number. They'll send you that number. And if you're still coded, if you see you're still coded, then what you can do is you can contact admissions and they will verify that RCN number and get you coded correctly. Let's see. Now we do have a lot of students. Part of your charges are the book rental as an undergraduate student. We do for the nursing students. What happens is they have books that can't be rented and they have to purchase. So we offer what's called a book voucher. The book voucher, we use your excess financial aid to pay for it. So if you say you rent all your books and there's 2 books that you can't rent that are not rentable, but you don't have out-of-pocket money to buy them right then and there, you can request a book voucher. Book voucher invitations are sent to everyone who's registered. And what it is, we're inviting you to choose a book voucher. It's not a mandatory thing. It's something you choose to do. If you choose, you'll send it back to us. We will verify that you have enough financial aid to cover first your tuition fees and then your book voucher amount. Let me see what else we might have. Okay, here's a good one. The difference between dropping and withdrawing. Dropping means that you have taken off all your classes or one of your classes during the drop add period. That's a drop. When you withdraw, that means the drop add period has ended, but you decide you no longer can attend one of your classes or all of your classes. If you withdraw from all your classes, you're doing a university withdrawal. And based on the date that you do the withdrawal is the percentage of what you would get back toward your charges. If you decide later on in later on in the semester that you can't, if something happens and you can't finish the school and you withdraw from the university, you're going to get less credit toward your charges. The sooner you withdraw when the term starts, the more credit you will get. But please try your best not to withdraw. It's best to get all your classes in as much as you can. I'm not sure if I have any other. Do we have any other
Yes.
frequently asked questions maybe?
Well, I will say we do have a question in the chat, and it is, how will I know I have been approved for the 10K status? So I know for the admission side, we must make sure, and I think in conjunction with the registrar, first we have to verify that community college that you're attending is a partner school. And then we must verify that you have an associate's degree for one of those partner schools. And once we verify those two things, and also residency, which you all talked about, you have to do the RDS. Again, we do not determine, Fayetteville State FSU does not determine what your residency status is. That website, www.ncresidency.org, we'll make sure we put it in the chat. Someone will put that in there for you. They determine what your residency status is. If they determine you to be out of state, then you will not be eligible for the 10K program. You have to be a North Carolina resident. And also you must complete your FAFSA, which Ms. Carr and Ms. Obi has already talked about. You must complete your FAFSA for each enrollment term. But in regards to knowing if you've been approved, you'll be communicated via email. You'll be notified by the registrar or admissions that you have officially been approved through the program. Now on the front end, what we would do is we would just let you know, thank you for your interest. We'll put the code in, but again, it must be verified before you start classes. And that's when you more likely will see differences in your charges, if you will, because it's been verified that you are eligible for the program. So as far as the time frame, we'll probably be more likely closer to when the term starts that you'll start seeing those differences, if I'm not mistaken, on the financial end in your bill when it comes to the 10K. And I'm not sure if you want to speak more to that, Ms. Obi.
Well, when you get registered and you're not coded as an in-state student, once the coding is corrected, the system automatically adjusts to the in-state.
Awesome.
Yes.
So I hope that answered that question. I thought it was a great question. And thank you for putting that in the chat. You see someone had put in the chat the residency website. So please go there. We always, definitely in admissions. I know they do on the financial side too, but definitely in admissions, please complete that residency portion. Again, it's very critical how you get charged, and it's different. It's a different charge. But in reference to this program, the 10K program, you have to be a North Carolina resident. So if you get coded out of state for whatever reason by RDS, you have to communicate with them to do an appeal or do a redetermination. We cannot make that change until they update their system. And if they do make that change and they change it to in-state for valid reasons, then you need to make sure you contact our office, especially admissions first, to let us know, send us a screenshot of your portal showing that you're considered in-state, and then we can go ahead and make that immediate update until our admissions portal, but also the campus-wide system, which is known as Banner. So please, we can't speak it enough of how critical that residency piece is. Now, if there's typically a deadline after school starts in that term, if I'm not mistaken, it's typically a 30, I feel like it's 30 days, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Bowles, I could be totally wrong, but there's typically a deadline of when you can actually still have time to get changed to in-state. Once you get past that deadline for that term, you're going to be considered an out-of-state student or whatever they determine after that deadline. That's what your residency status is going to be. Yes, so thank you. That is correct. I think we had an extension this last semester because of COVID. It was 45 days, so I didn't want to get it mixed up. But typically, it's 30 days after the term starts that you still have time to change that or to get that residency determination.
So,
Now,
Mr. White, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Myself, if a student is coded as out of state and they're working on getting in state, would they be admitted to the 10K program, or do they have to wait until they're actually in state?
They're going to have to wait because if they're coded out of state, even on your end, they're going to be charged as such. And the 10K program is specifically for $10,000 and less. So they have to be. So we definitely, I think it's case by case. Let's say, for example, you missed the deadline after school starts and you're coded out of state, and the next term you're in state. There may be a conversation we can have with Ms. Wilson to get verification of whether or not we can do that, and then make the change if necessary. But you have to have that North Carolina, you have to be considered in state for you to be a part of the eligibility requirements for the 10K program. Very critical, very critical. I thought, yeah, so yeah, very critical. So, you know, you guys have definitely provided some great information. I'm so glad that you both were able to expound upon not just what you need to do for FAFSA, but how it impacts you on the student account side as far as claiming your residency, checking your banner, make sure that FAFSA is completed every semester, okay? Or for that academic year, if you will. And I think those who are answering questions in the chat about scholarships and how to transfer your financial aid, those questions got answered, so thank you for that. And another question just popped up, so here we go. How long does it take to get a reply from the intent to enroll in the 10K program in order to receive a waiver for application fee? That's a question for me. So typically how it works, because of the intent form, I receive notification, and multiple people in my office do as well. But once I get your intent form, I check our system to see if you have an application on file first. If you do not have an application on file, you then will receive a message from me stating, hey, we've received your intent form. We need you to complete the application so we can get the ball rolling, if you will. And once I see the application has been submitted successfully, again, it's not in progress, but successfully completed, then we can go ahead and add that 10K code, which will follow you all the way into the banner system if everything lines up as far as the requirements. So everything can work properly as far as waiving the application fee, making sure your student account is properly allocated as far as the cost. So again, you must make sure you do the intent form and apply, and then we'll make sure we add that code in our system. But again, if you only have one and not the other, if you have the application, no 10K form, I don't know that you're interested, right? So I can't code you as such. Or if you have the intent form and not the application, again, same result. I cannot code you. So please, it's very critical that you do those two things. Okay, so
Speaking
the time frame. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, speaking of codes, I did forget to add our school code for your FAFSA, 002928. I'm sure my awesome colleagues have posted it in the chat box, but just in case, 002928. Please add that onto your FAFSA application so that we will receive your FAFSA.
Mm-hmm. And to further answer that question, because I might have missed the time frame you were looking for, you did ask how long. Typically, when you do the intent form, you get an immediate response of you completing it. And if I'm not mistaken, you get 2 emails. The second email strictly states what next steps you need to do. But again, you also will get an email from me. So within 24 hours, I should say email from me you should receive, but definitely as soon as you complete the form, you receive some response about what the next steps are and how we can add that code. So I like to try to do it within 24 hours of your intent form, and I notice that it's there. I like to go ahead and make sure that code is added immediately. But again, an application must be on file, okay? It must be on file for us to waive that fee, okay? So what will happen sometimes, you may still see a message in your Bronco portal that says application fee is still missing. You can disregard that message if you know that you qualify if you know that you qualify for the 10K program. And I hope I answered your question. Okay, I think I got the time right there, time. All right. So if no other questions, I don't see any other questions in the Q&A. I don't see any other questions in the chat. And I hope, and I know that you've been well informed about how the process works for our financial aid and student accounts. And again, we can't speak enough about how great this 10K program is, again, to create a pathway for our students to get your bachelor's degree for under $10,000 online. So we know that you've enjoyed your day. We know that it's been very informative, and we greatly appreciate you joining us today and just taking some time out. I definitely want to give a clap and a thanks to our financial aid and student accounts, Lily Building crew over there. I want to thank you all for joining us and giving us that insight on how the financial aid has impacted financial aid and their student accounts. So again, I'm very grateful and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, ladies, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. So as we're going to go ahead and put up on the screen again how to download the guidebook, and again it's very critical on how you can possibly apply to Fayetteville State University. Of course, even though this is our last session, there's no more that's going on today, you still can have that guidebook for our future events. You can have that link, so you can have that application in your phone. You can have it ready. Okay, so if you want to become a Bronco, you can, as you can see on the far right, you can become a Bronco. We've been streaming live all day today. We've been excited about our 10K program, and we're so glad that you were able to join us and receive that information. So again, download that guidebook, use it for future events that we have coming up. And don't forget to check in. You have a chance to enter in for a prize of a 10K t-shirt. So please make sure, if you haven't checked in through your guidebook, please make sure you do that. Okay. And again, we're just so glad that you were able to join us. Again, I'm Dante Wise. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions Transfer Coordinator here at Fayetteville State. And we're so glad that you were able to join us. I still want to thank all those who played an intricate part on today, all those you did not see in the background that may have been helping me with my slides, that may have been answering those questions for you, our colleagues, our staff. We thank you so much. Again, we've been streaming live on YouTube, so go to our Office of Admissions page. Please subscribe to our page, okay? When we're having events, you'll be able to get that notification. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And also on our Facebook, please follow us so you can get updates of events going on, information. I'm so sorry, y'all. Information sessions, okay? So you can know exactly what's going on here at Fayetteville State University. Again, I thank all those in the background. I want to thank Miss Ulisa Bowles. She's my Executive Director of Admissions, my boss, y'all. Woo, that's my boss. You better clap your hands. All right. I thank you for your guidance and support of this event. And again, we want to thank Ms. Wilson, Thalia Wilson. She's our Vice Chancellor of Enrollment Management. Woohoo! We thank you for, again, she's our point of contact. So if you're a student and you've been on here and you're saying, Mr. Wise, my school, my community college may not be a partner college, and you're thinking that's a great idea for your community college, please reach out to Ms. Thalia Wilson, okay? If you don't mind, Ms. Wilson, putting maybe your email contact information in the chat. And therefore, when you get in contact with your upper administration at your community college, they can get in contact with her and kind of discuss the terms and the agreement of how to be a part of this 10K program. I think that's so important for a school like us, a UNC system school, to provide a very affordable bachelor's degree and a quality bachelor's degree at that. If you've heard all day from our different programs, how our programs are ranked, and again, we want to make sure you can have a pathway to those types of programs. Thank you so much, Ms. Wilson, for putting that in the chat for those attendees and those viewing. Again, I can't say it enough. I'm excited. We thank you for your time. We hope that you have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And we want to say Happy Veterans Day to those on tomorrow. Veterans Day. We thank you for your service and what you've dedicated your time and your pretty much your time to the United States of America. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. And as always, FSU is the only choice. Fayetteville State University Virtual 10K Pathway Program.